Welcome, everybody. I'm glad to see everybody tonight. I know you can't see me tonight, and I apologize for that. But some of you may know I've been sick for the last week and a half or so. So that's why I haven't been on. I didn't get to do my Missing Person Monday or my... Oh, by the way, before I go any further, since I'm not using my cam, please put a 1 in the chat or just something to let me know that you guys can hear me okay. I'd hate to go through this whole thing without anybody at least being able to hear me. So just let me know. Well, apparently Miss Barbara, hi Miss Barbara Hall. Now, I'm gonna get to everybody in chat. I've got it at, okay, thank you, Maxine, Chris. All right, awesome, you guys can hear me. Wonderful. So I will go back up to top of chat. Welcome everybody. Got lots of people here tonight. Thank you guys so much for coming. I know it's kind of a last minute thing, but with me being sick and oh goodness, and it's nothing serious. I'm fine. It's not like I'm gonna keel over anytime soon, but at least once or twice a year. It's usually during the winter time, either during the winter time or right when the seasons change before or after winter. I get a really, really bad sinus infection, really chest congestion, fever, the whole shebang. But I went to the doctor yesterday and got me a steroid shot and some meds, and so hopefully everything will start clearing up. So I apologize in advance if my voice sounds scratchy or I sound a little nasally, or I'm gonna try not to sniff too much. And if I do mute my mic if you don't hear me for a couple of seconds, it's only because I need to blow my nose and I don't want to be rude and blow it on the I'll say on camera, but blow it on mic, I don't even want to hear it, so I know you guys don't want to hear it. But anyway, thank you. So I just wanted to touch base with you guys, just share some missing persons. I'm so behind in a lot of the current true crime that's been going on in the news lately. But trying to keep up with a little bit of it whenever I've just been kind of laying in bed and watching TV. And I've actually, one of the good things though, I'm getting caught up on some of these other great creators that I see some in here tonight. I'm getting caught up with some of their channels. I've been watching, I see Arctic Foxes in here. Hey, Arctic. Been catching up on some of his stuff. I've been over at Mind the Monsters, watching some of Sunshine stuff. She's got some really good stuff, y'all, I'm telling you. She does amazing, amazing work. So, before I babble on, so like I said, I got some true crime. See, I'm loopy and I hadn't even taken my NyQuil yet. And anyway, some missing persons to share. And then we can just talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. You can kind of get me in the loop of any new developments on anything that we've been following, anything that's new that I may not have seen yet, because I've been watching like I said, I haven't been watching a whole lot of news I've been on the Google machine a little bit, looking at stuff, but not a whole lot. So let's see who is here. Hello, Miss Mexie. Good to have you here, my dear. One of my wonderful mods. Always good to have Miss Mexie here. Thank you, ma'am. And yeah, there I knew I saw him. There's Arctic Fox. Good to have you here, sir. I'm telling you guys go check out Arctic Fox True Crime. He does amazing work. I think he puts out like 20,000 videos a day of missing persons, missing children. He just does amazing work. So please do go check out Arctic Fox True Crime. Mr. Chris Gideon is here. Always good to have you here, Chris. And Chris has been PMing me, and a lot of you guys actually have been PMing me on Facebook, checking up on me and putting comments in on here on YouTube and some of my videos. Just checking up to make sure I hadn't killed over. So I thank everybody for your concerns, your thoughts, your prayers, your well wishes. It is very much appreciated. But Chris has been PMing me, checking up on me, sending stuff, and Chris sent me a link to a very bizarre missing person child that we're going to talk about some tonight, because there's not a whole lot of information out there about it. But also, I noticed that Arctic Fox did one of his videos, I believe today, on the same person. So thank you both for letting me know about that. So good to have you here, Chris. I'm just making my way down the line here. And I don't know if Mind of Monsters is here tonight. I'm about 30 minutes behind in comments, but I was watching a little bit of Mind of Monsters did a live tonight. Talking a little bit about the Sebastian Rogers case, and she had a lady on there that had an autistic son, I believe, and it was just very interesting. The lady, and I shame on me, I can't remember the lady's name, maybe Sandy or Sandra, had some lots of good information about how autistic children behave, and some maybe misconceptions on what they would or wouldn't do. So, and I have a good friend who has an autistic child, a son. He's either 18 or 19 now. But I'm not around him a whole lot. I met him through my prior work when I was doing home health caregiving. But at any rate, please check out Mind of Monsters also. She does excellent work on on her channel. Hello, ma'am. There is Miss Marion Tate. Always good to have Miss Marion here. And Miss Marion also PM'd me some. Oh, it made me cry when I saw them. She PM'd me. Apparently, they had some kind of rally or awareness. I believe she said it was at the Frederickstown Capitol or somewhere. But they had made. She was there. I believe Miss Kimberly Lotz was there. Durante Martin's grandmother. Just making up a billboard, or not billboards. What am I trying to say? Just tributes to the missing, the ones who have lost their lives. And I just, like I said, I was in tears watching them. And so I PM'd her back, PM'd her back and asked her, thanked her very much, and asked her if I could use those clips that she sent me to make put them together, put some music to them, to see if I could put together a little, tribute awareness video. And she gave me permission to use them, so I'm going to start working on that. So thank you very much, Miss Marion. I appreciate that. And it is, like I said, wonderful to have you here, ma'am. Yeah, hey, Miss Barb. Miss Barbara Hall is here. It's nice to see you too, Miss Barb. Anybody who doesn't know, Miss Barbara Hall is Timmy Dees' mother. And last week, the week before he was actually the last case of the week that I did before I got sick and had to take some time off. And Miss Marion Tate is Miss Barbara's sister, so it'll be Timmy's aunt. Two wonderful, strong ladies. So if you haven't checked out the Case of the Week live stream I did on Timmy Dees, it is in my playlist under, I put it under Unsolved Cold Cases because, once again, in my opinion, that case is not solved. So thank you, Miss Barb, for being here. Trying to make my way down through here. Oh, there's Mind the Monsters. Hey, Sunshine. Hey, Mom. How are you doing? I was just talking about you earlier. You probably heard because I'm still way behind in comments. Welcome, Mind of Monsters. Always good to have my friend Mind of Monsters in here. I watched a lot of Mind of Monster stuff this week, guys. I think I started all the way down at the beginning of her videos and worked my way through just about all of them. Now I got to make my way through her live streams. I'm just very, very good stuff. Good stuff. All right, make sure I don't start repeating myself with names here. Oh, there's You Knew. Hello, You Knew. You Knew also PM'd me earlier on Facebook, said that they would be here for my live. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. Absolutely. Appreciate everybody that's here, especially at this late hour. Oh, but you know what? Since I've been sick, anybody, to me, the most miserable thing to have is a head cold. I'd rather have anything else than a head cold. That's, stuffed up sinuses. You can't lay down, you can't sit up, you can't breathe. But, so I figured if I'm going to be awake, I might as well get on here and get caught up with you guys because I've missed you guys so much and see what's going on. And so thank you, everybody, for being here at this late hour. And I'm sorry if you can hear my heavy, if my heavy breathing is coming through, and my coughing. Excuse me for my coughing, but absolutely, Miss Marion. Miss Marion says, "Thank you all for putting our stories out there." Absolutely, ma'am. That is what we are here for. I'm so honored and so happy to have all these other wonderful creators in here with me. Like I said, Arctic Fox is here, great channel. Arctic Fox True Crime, of course. Mind of Monsters, excellent. There may be some more down in through here. I'm still trying to make my way through all the comments and welcome everybody in before we get started. So I hope everybody's been doing well. I hope everybody is ready for Easter. If you observe Easter, happy Easter to anybody who observes Easter. The weather here in Arkansas is supposed to be nice. It's supposed to be, like they said, in the 80s with sunshine. So I'm looking forward to that. There's Get a Look See. Hello, Get a Look See. Hello, everyone. Thank you for your support and all you do. Absolutely. I would not be here if not for you guys. So thank you, everybody. Very much appreciated. All right. I'm thinking, I'm making my way, guys. I'm making my way. Oh, goodness. I love Arctic Fox. I can't say the last word. Arctic Fox says, I feel like Danny Glover in Lethal Weapon. Some days, I'm getting too old for this shite. Yeah, I feel that way. Feel that way too. Most definitely. Most definitely. Oh, and there's an actor that died today. Oh, who was it? The his name just flew out of my head. Talking about actors. Um, I can see his face as plain as day right now, but can't think of his name. Hello, Madison Kenny. Well, Madison Kennedy. Welcome. She says, looking forward to this. Welcome, Madison. Your name is familiar, but I don't know if it's from seeing you on Facebook or in somebody else's chats, or like I said, my head is so foggy right now with this head cold that I don't even know what my own name is right now. But welcome, Madison. We're glad to have you here. Yes, Chris Gideon says, talking to Madison, it says, "Hi, Madison. It's good to see nice and honest people in here like you." Oh, and I don't want to get into a rant, not a rant, but just but I think with everything that's going on with some cases that are out there right now, I don't even know if I could, even if I had felt like it this past week and a half, if I could have even gotten on here and been able to give a good show, because I'm just so, and I'm sure you got some of you guys and gals. When I say guys, to anybody new, I mean guys and gals. Just so frustrated with some of the things that are going on with some of these cases, these missing persons cases, just all the ugliness. I just, without being specific, because I don't want to cause a whole S storm, but when you have to ask yourself when it comes to a point where, and I'm not taking sides one way or the other on any case or anything, but when it comes to the point when families, loved ones of people are being threatened, when volunteers who are helping search for missing persons are getting threatened. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, guys. I want to get into a whole, because I want to, and everybody's, and I have a disclaimer when we get into my slideshow that I'm going to read. Everybody's opinion is welcome. Everybody needs to and deserves to have questions or concerns about certain things. It's human nature. If we didn't have questions about some things, then there's something wrong. But there's a line that you don't cross, no matter how you feel. I mean, you don't threaten people, you don't harass people, and this is just my opinion. This is just my opinion. You don't threaten families, you don't harass families, you don't stalk families, you don't put stuff out there online without knowing, because we as a general public, we do not know everything that law enforcement knows about any case, regardless of what case it is. And there are always, there are going to be things that police don't put out there. And we, as a community, as civilians, they're not obligated to give us that information. And there's a reason that they keep information to themselves. And just because you don't see family members or whatever the case may be, out looking for, they're not out there, looking for their loved one or whatever it is. I mean, you don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Not everything is meant to be caught on camera, whether it be by media or social media or YouTube or, like I said, it's just when it comes to the point where people are getting threatened, getting death threats, to me, that's just crossing the line. And but I would love to hear you guys' opinions about, and like I said, it not just any particular case, but just in cases in general, because I've seen it before. And in my opinion, the worst thing that it does is it not only hurts the families, who are dealing with tragedy or a very stressful situation anyway, but it takes away from the missing person. It takes focus away from the missing person, and that is the most important part of anything, whether it be somebody lost to violent crime or somebody that is missing. They are the most important part, and we cannot lose focus on trying to find that missing person. And it's just so frustrating. Just it makes my heart hurt so bad when things get out of control. But anyway, that is I'll get off my soapbox. But anyway, I'm sure you guys have some opinions. Like I said, everybody's opinion is welcome. Just and when I read my little disclaimer that I've got, I think it's fair, But anyway, let's see what we got. All right, I think I'm caught up in comments, so we'll put my slideshow up here. So, like I said, tonight we're just going to be talking about some. Oh, I just thought I was caught up in comments. A new batch just popped in on my laptop. It's very laggy. So I hope I didn't miss anything. Let's see. Yeah, Arctic Fox says it's always an ear infection for him. Yeah, and I'm not trying to be gross when I say this, but anytime that you go to blow your nose and your ears start squeaking and whistling, it's the worst feeling in the world. But anyway, I probably have an ear infection too. But like I said, they just kind of stuck that little thing in my ear and looked in it for like 2 seconds and got me a steroid shot and then some antibiotics and some stuff to help clear up the congestion. So anyway, thank you, Miss Marion. Miss Marion says feel better soon. I will, ma'am. Like I said, it's nothing, nothing I've never dealt with before. So I'll be all right. Oh, Mind of Monsters says makes me blush, ma'am. I don't know if you're talking about me. Hey, you deserve everything. You do wonderful work. Not only on the screen on YouTube, but I know that you do a lot of work behind the scenes that nobody knows about, that you don't put out there, just because you do it out of the goodness of your heart. So bless you, ma'am, for everything that you do, all the awareness that you bring to all these missing persons cases. It was well deserved, ma'am. Yeah, Arctic Fox agrees. He says she's stating the truth, sunshine. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Excuse me. Ma'am, sirs. Oh, also now Arctic Fox says he's blushing. Hey, I know I appreciate and give credit where credit is due to all the creators out there who are doing it for the right reasons. They stay out of the drama and the blaming and bashing and things of that nature. So I know who the good ones are, and hopefully you guys out there know too who the good ones are. There's Miss Kimberly Lotz. Hello, Miss Kimberly. How are you doing this evening? Miss Kimberly Lotz is Durante Martin's grandmother. And Durante's case was the case that I had intended to do Friday, yesterday. No, today's Friday. I don't even know what today is. Is today Friday, y'all? Hold on, let me check. Yeah. I had intended to do Durante's case as my case of the week this week, but then after I got sick and I couldn't, I'd done my research and started getting my slideshows and all my information together, and then I got whacked on the head with this, whatever it is, sinus infection, and I just wanted to do Durante's case justice, so I'm going to do it this coming Friday. Durante is going to be my case of the week, since hopefully once I got these meds in me and getting everything cleared up, that I just want to do his case justice. I didn't want to do, come on a live stream and, be sick and do a half, what job of it. I wanted to do his case justice because, oh, guys, Durante's case, if you haven't heard, and I put a link in the description box to the Justice for Durante page. I think it's done by change.org. So feel free to go over there and read up on Durante's case if you have not heard of it. It's another one of those Fredericktown cases. The first one I did last week or week week before, whenever it was, Timmy Dees, Timmy's case was the first Fredericktown case. And one interesting thing that I noticed, interesting and disturbing, is that when I was looking, of course, I'd researched Timmy's case to the nth degree when I did the video live stream on his case featuring Timmy's case. So I remembered a lot of names from that case, and when I was researching Durante's case, if I remember correctly, and I'm pretty sure I've bookmarked and going to use one of those articles when I do Durante's case, is that a name popped up in Durante's case, which also popped up in Timmy's case. Now, I don't know, it wasn't one of the major 3 people that we talked about in Timmy's case, but it was a name that I had seen mentioned in articles and research that I did in Timmy's case, and lo and behold, if it's the same person, and Miss Kimberly or Miss Marion or Miss Barb may know the name I'm talking about. I don't know, because I'm sure you ladies have all talked. And by the way, Miss Kimberly, I don't know if you were here earlier, but Miss Marion has sent me some videos from the thing at the Capitol that was either today or yesterday, and I saw you up there talking. God bless all you ladies. God bless you ladies. But yeah, there was this one name that popped up that was like, I've heard that name before. So I went back and looked, and sure enough, just like I thought, it was also mentioned, had come up in Timmy's case. So that gave me a little pause and a lot of concern. But anyway. Oh, goodness. Thank you, Miss Barb. And Miss Mary and Miss Kimberly, whoever is there. Miss Barb says that we talked about all your channels at the Capitol yesterday. You also Arctic Pots. Thank you so much, Miss Barb. That's an honor that you would mention my channel, or channels in general. It's very much appreciated. All you ladies know, and anybody here who has a case that I'm going to do in the future. God bless y'all. We're here for you. We've got your backs. And thank you for having ours. Thank you for choosing to watch our channels and trusting us to get the information out there to the best of our ability. Absolutely. Arctic Fox says Fredericktown, so much shady she is happening in Fredericktown. Oh yeah. I can do probably a month or more of cases, just Fredericktown cases. Like I said, Timmy's was just the first one. Durante's next week, for this coming week, Friday is going to be the second one, and then there's more. There's more and more. Hold on, guys, for just a second. Okay, I'm back. Had to had to settle in a little bit more. Another reason I'm not doing my cam tonight is, aside from the fact you won't have to look at my puppy face and my red nose, I'm just kind of kicked back here on the bed with my feet propped up and seeing what we got going on here. Yes, the Jefferson City Capitol. Excellent. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to do get together when I get time, get all those video clips that Miss Marion sent me, put them together with some music and some other stuff, and make a little tribute video. And I'm also going to, because Miss Kimberly sent me a lot of pictures of Durante and the family, so I want to do get all those pictures together and do a tribute awareness video for Durante. And I want to do the same for Timmy too. So Miss Mary and Miss Barbara, if you have any pictures of Timmy that you want to send me to share with me, that I can include to make a video, tribute awareness video for Timmy, please do send them to me, whatever you feel comfortable sending me. because I want to start doing these tribute videos. One for Timmy, for Durante, for Miss Tamara, Olivia Fowler, which probably, so I'm doing Durante's case this coming week. Olivia Fowler's case will probably be the week after that. So I just want to start doing some tribute and awareness videos, get them put up, and that way you guys will have a link to them and you can share them wherever and however and wherever you want to share them to help bring awareness. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna get that done. Yes, Sandra. I was hoping I had the right name. Sunshine. Amanda Monster says Sandra is awesome person. I was so honored to have her come up and speak tonight. Yes, Sandra. Yes, ma'am. Yep, I didn't get to watch the very end, so I'm gonna have to go back and be replay crew on the end of it. But I got to watch most of it before I think we had to do supper. But yeah, Miss Sandra was awesome, awesome lady. Uh, Sunshine says, Southern Gal, some of my first videos are raw. I have grown a lot. Oh, y'all should go back and watch some of the very first videos I made. Oh my goodness. I look back at them now and cringe. I mean, I got the information across all right, I guess, but just, yep, a little cringy, but that's okay as long as the message gets out there and the stories get out there, it doesn't matter what I look like or sound like or the quality, but aside from tonight, I don't have my cam on tonight, but I'm hoping the quality as far as camera work and my speech, I had to work on my speech patterns, people were saying I had too many ums and ohs and but when I get it, and because when I get into when I'm telling the story of a case, I get into it and I fall into that speech pattern, and I've gotten so many comments, you and all too much, and I just can't watch you. Well, that's fine. If you don't want to watch, you don't have to watch, but you're missing out on, that just breaks my heart because they're just missing out on so important stories. Oops. Now my fingers are getting ahead of my mind. That's their loss. So sad that they, don't want to stick around. Um, and I would challenge anybody that has never, and I'm a very introverted person, so it was very surprising to me how somewhat comfortable I've become being on the screen and talking but it's just because I want to share these stories. So, I challenge anybody who wants to say anything about any of us creators. Um, any flaws we have or stumbles we may have when we're talking, fine, get yourself a camera and see if you can do any better, people. I'm sorry if that sounds rude, but it's the way I feel. I ain't got no shame like I said, as long as the message and the story gets out there, that is all I care about. They don't have to like the way I look or the way that I deliver it, but as long as they get the message, that's all that matters. Absolutely. Mine, Sunshine says talking about Arctic Fox True Crime, you are a warrior, a true soldier. You're an amazing person and a great voice for the missing. We need 100 more like you, sir. Absolutely. We can't have enough good, honest creators out there, especially in the true crime world. I'm not going to get back on my soapbox or go into another, for every good one that's out there, unfortunately, there are 100 of them that are out there that are doing wrong, in my opinion, doing the wrong things, doing it the wrong way, doing things that should not and ever be done. I'm not going to name any specific channels, but if you guys watch a lot of true crime channels, probably some of the ones I'm talking about. Hello, Change of Heartland. Good to have you here. What did I miss? You haven't missed anything but me babbling and griping and moaning about being sick. No, I'm not going to try to, hey, as long as I woke up above the daisies, it's a good day, so I can deal with a little head cold. But welcome, Change of Heartland. Good to have you here again. No, Change of Heartland says, is Durante Martin the topic tonight? Durante was supposed to be the topic tonight, my case of the week, but at the beginning of this week, well, it started probably last weekend with the little sniffles, and then this whole week it's gotten worse. I've been very sick. Did not have, didn't feel like, I spent most of the day in bed. Sometimes I was spiking like 100-degree fever, so I was, like passed down in the bed. My cat would come crawl on me and paw my face, I guess, to make sure I was still alive. But so I just wanted to I'm putting off his case until this coming Friday. That way I can finish, get everything together, finish my research is finished for the most part, but get my slideshow together, all the information I want to include. I still got to do some video clips, but I just did not want to do Durante's case while I was sick and feel like that I did not do it justice. But Durante's case will be next Friday night live stream. Probably at the usual time I do my live streams for Case of the Week, which is usually around 8 p.m. Central Time, Central U.S. time. So, and I apologize to Miss Kimberly for having to put it off, but like I said, I didn't want to do it half sick and half out of it and not be able to do Durante justice. So that's why I'm going to do it next week. Most certainly. And it is another one of those cases that just like with Timmy's case, the more I've looked into, read articles, and found some YouTube interviews with Miss Kimberly and Miss Erica, who is Durante's mother. Miss Kimberly, of course, is Durante's grandmother. I have more questions than answers, and I have lots and lots of concerns, the same concerns, the same questions that I have in Timmy's case. It's just so heartbreaking and just so frustrating. Yeah. Sorry for my sniffling. Like I said, if I do have to blow my nose, I will mute my mic so you won't have to listen to that. And I hope y'all can hear me okay. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad I'm not the only one that feels like that. Arctic Fox says, I know, I can't with all the drama. Oh, God. And speaking of Arctic Fox, one of the things that I think I watched it last night, and Arctic Fox was on the panel. And I discovered this channel through Arctic Fox because I think he had it linked. The channel linked in his kind of like I have what I call my friends section down at the bottom of my page, and other channels to visit. So I was going down and clicked on it, and I ended up watching a 4-hour video that Arctic Fox did with this creator and another lady that was on there. And it was on a case that I have. And see, it's so sad when you don't even want to mention the name of a missing child, a case, because you're afraid that the drama and the everything is going to start. But it's the major case that's out there now, and Arctic Fox was there, and this other creator and another lady, and it is the first live streamer video that I've allowed myself to watch on this particular case because I've tried to go into other creators' chats that have been talking about this case, and maybe not necessarily these creators, but just reading chat. And I probably should just turn the chat off and not even look at the chat. but just the horrible, horrible things and the drama and everything that's being said in chat, I just cannot bring myself. I mean, I have to just turn it off. It's just, and that is so sad when you get to the point where it is so through no fault of the most obviously the missing person, or the family for the most part, but when the drama and the ugliness are so bad that you don't even want to even go near, broach the topic, broach the subject, or even watch other videos or live streams talking about that, that's when it's bad. But the video, or it's actually a live stream that I watched, and Arctic Fox probably knows exactly what I'm talking about, which one I'm talking about. I'd intended just to, because I saw that it was 4 hours, and I'm like, well, I'll watch some now until I fall asleep, and then I'll finish watching it. But I stayed up and watched the whole 4 hours of this live stream last night and into this morning, and it was just, I was so floored and so amazed and so appreciative of the way that they handled this case, and with the respect for the victim, for the families, for everyone involved. Looking at all sides of the whole case, of everybody involved in the case. It just blew me away. So kudos to Arctic Fox and everybody that was involved in that live stream. You guys did an amazing job, and we need more of you guys. Once again, when I say guys and gals, more of you guys like that to get together and do those kind of videos and have an honest, adult, no drama conversation the way it needs to be done. So just long-winded explanation, but I hope you guys get my point. So thank you, Arctic Fox, and others who participated in that live stream talking about that case. It was refreshing, and it was just, I made it through. Like I said, I'd only intended to watch it, a little bit at a time, but I got so engrossed in it because it was so well done and so professional and so respectful that I ended up watching the whole 4 hours. Mind of Monsters, Sunshine said, I understand. I've been on and off my soapbox. I built a second floor to stand on. I'm telling you. Oh, when I started, and, just the last couple of days, I really felt like kind of getting on, picking up my phone and getting on the Google machine, as Mr. Steve would call it, and even attempting to look to see developments of anything. And when I came across these articles about the threats, and not just to the family, but to other entities involved that are helping search for Sebastian, it infuriated me. It broke my heart. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Like I said, the most devastating part to me is that it takes away from the search and for the missing person, for the missing child, and that's unacceptable. It's totally unacceptable. The missing person, the missing child, whatever the case may be, absolutely has to be the center and the most important thing for these cases. So, absolutely. Thank you, Mexi. Mexi's got Arctic Fox's link to his channel in there. Please, please, guys, go check out Arctic Fox. Most definitely. And Mind of Monsters. All the good ones. True Crime Web, although Mr. Steve has been on the, I guess is still on the road. Understandably, he and his team are out doing important work, helping these families with these cold cases and trying to bring closure to some of these families. Absolutely. Arctic Fox True Crime says it's one thing to have questions and opinions, but state them as opinions, not facts, and do not drag families without the evidence to back it up. Yes, sir. You summed it up right there in that one statement, that one sentence, much more eloquently than I've been trying to do. But yeah, it's just, uh, Yeah, and it's like you said, it's natural, and it's good that people have questions. It's good for the most part that people have opinions. Like I said, everybody has a right to their opinion, but don't state it as fact. Unless, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, if it doesn't come from law enforcement or a credible news source, it's not proven yet. It's not fact. Just because you read or somebody read it on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram or whatever does not mean that it is fact. Um, I mean, I don't know how Arctic Fox summed it up right there. I don't know how much plainer it can be said. Like, once again, that's just my opinion. But it's just horrible, horrible, horrible. And like I said, and speaking of Mind of Monsters, one of or a series of videos that Sunshine did on the Michael Vaughn case, and what that family went through, what that family was put through, the way they were harassed. Um, and then it turns out they had nothing to do with it. And it just broke. I literally was in tears watching the video of Brandy, of Michael Monkey's mom. Um, it just broke my heart, and there's no reason for it. There's absolutely no reason to drag these families through the mud, harass them, unless, like I said, unless law enforcement comes out and says, yes, a member of the family, or whoever, in any case, they're a person of interest, or they're a suspect, or they've been arrested for something. Until then, you leave those families alone, regardless. It does not matter. You don't harass them. They need their space. They are grieving. They are hurting. Um, they're going through something bad, something horrendous, something that you wouldn't wish upon your worst enemy. And I don't understand the ones, social media people in general, YouTubers, that just go out and just, oh, I'm not going to get started again, I promise. but uh but yeah, it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Hey, Ryu, good to have you here. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see ya. Good to see all these familiar faces, all these new faces, or names. I say faces, but I look at the little avatars here. Oh, there's my Fritzy Garage from Poland. Welcome, Fritzy. Good to have you here. Always. See, just when I think I'm getting caught up, but see, this is what I want. I want to get a chance to chat with you guys, and see what's been going on with you guys, and touch base. And I was getting lonely here in the house, just me and the cat, and me laying in the laying in the bed, surrounded by my water and my tea and Coke every once in a while, and all my Kleenex. Yes. Arctic says Sunshine makes countless flyers for the missing. Yes. The flyers, the electronic billboards. Oh my goodness. Just amazing, amazing stuff. Thank you, Miss Kimberly. Miss Kimberly told me to feel better. Yes, ma'am. I'll make it. I'm tough. I'm a country girl. Like I said, to me, a head cold makes me feel worse than anything. But I'll get over it. I'm fine. But thank you for your concern. Yes, ma'am. Bobby Boone. I knew one of you ladies would, Bobby Boone. And see, I don't know a lot about this Bobby Boone, because when I did Timmy's case, I focused on the three of the people that were last known to be with Timmy. Now, I know there were allegedly others there, most likely, But in all my research that I did on Timmy's case, that Bobby Boone's name popped up, and I haven't researched a whole lot about her. But when I saw that name pop up when I was doing research, reading articles, and watching videos about Durante's case, that hit me like a ton of bricks when I saw that name. So definitely, yes, ma'am. That troubles me. That troubles me very much. No, Arctic Fox, I do not have a Cash App. Right now, all I have is Buy Me a Coffee. I have a PayPal and a Venmo. I don't have Cash App. But thank you for asking. Thank you, Miss Barbara. Miss Barbara said we mentioned all your channels, all of you guys, and the Lawless Files. Absolutely, Lawless Files is amazing. We love everything you do for our families. Absolutely, Miss Barb. Like I said, we're here for all of you ladies, for everybody. We got your backs. It's a new name. Keep it real. Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you here. Please let us know how you found us, if you don't mind. Because there's so many now. It could either be Facebook or from another channel here on YouTube or wherever. But I like to give, if somebody recommended my channel, I want to give a shout out to whoever recommends and show my appreciation. Now my Lord have mercy, my hold on, my all of a sudden I got a big dump of comments that just popped up. So oh goodness gracious. Okay. Uh, oh, okay. I'll go back. Okay, Mia, thank you, Mexi. Mexi is putting in all the which they are linked in the description box too, but Mexi's putting in all my links, my donation links. Yes, somebody, maybe you mentioned it, or Chris, or somebody mentioned it. Arctic said, check out Mark Fullerton. He's also missing from Missouri. Yes, that name is on my list. Most definitely. My notebook is getting full. I'm gonna have to buy me another notebook to write down all these names and all these cases to dig into. Oh, my Sunshine's back. She said her son did something to a laptop for her and couldn't figure out how to get back on it. That sounds like me. Welcome, Chrissy Jarvis. Good to have you here. Says it's her first time here. Welcome, welcome. We're so glad to have you here. If you don't mind, like I said, and you don't have to, but just let us know how you found us. And I say us because Southern Gal True Crime is not just me. It is everybody, all my fellow creators who come in to support me and these families, the community, the families that have lost loved ones that come in and support us. Welcome, welcome, Chrissy. Good to have you here. I swear I'm gonna get caught up in comments and start get started with just want to make sure that somebody hasn't popped in that I haven't said hi to yet. Yes, Rose says Arctic Fox has a lot of good vids. I swear, Arctic Fox. I don't think Arctic Fox ever sleeps. Every time I get on YouTube, he's posted like 20,000 million videos of missing persons, and I try to share all of them, or as many of them as I can. Share his missing person videos that he does on my community page. So, yep. My Arctic Fox does excellent work. All right. Barbara said, I had to do that before. Sometimes people can be mean. Yeah, yes, yep. That's the one I watched, Arctic. Any of you guys haven't checked out Duchess for the Missing? Is that what it's called? Um, she's another one. That's the first when I watched the live stream that Arctic Fox was on, and the other lady, what's her Crystal? What's her name? Crystal. Um, it just blew me away. Duchess, like I said, I've only watched that one live, but I'm definitely going to get back there and check out more of her channel. Another one that does it for the right reasons. Very respectful, very, good stuff. Good stuff. Oh yeah, Miss Barbara was also. I watched the replay, but yeah, I believe Miss Barbara was also at that live stream because I saw her the comments pop up highlighted. Absolutely. Arctic Fox says what Brandy and Tyler, who is Michael Vaughn's mom and dad, went through is exactly what Katie and Chris are going through now. Yep, you're correct. Yeah. Sunshine says Brandy is an amazing person. I'm a pit bull when it comes to Monkey. Yeah, that's what I watched every single video, short, everything you did on Monkey's Case, and those interviews or when Brandy was talking, it broke my heart. Just broke my heart. Mm. Oh, she may already be gone, but Mexie says she has to go to. Thank you, Mexie. Says beautiful people. Gotta call it a night. Y'all have a good night. Fantastic weekend. Thank you, Mexie. You too, hun. Thank you for being here. Yep. Thank you, Rose. Rose says I tell others about your channels, and you sure share some good ones with me. Some already sub to, some not. Am now. Yes. I will not steer you wrong with any of the channels that I suggest that you watch. Like I said, I haven't been doing my channel very long, but I have been watching the True Crime World creators here on YouTube for a while, and quickly learned the good ones from the bad. So I would not steer you wrong. I promise you. I don't know if you're talking about my lives or somebody else's, but regardless, yeah, share, share, share. I try to share all you guys' lives and videos I come across too, share them out to reach as many people as possible. All right, I think I'm finally caught up, so we will see. Oh, thank you, my friend, my fellow Arkansan. So were you born in Arkansas? And you don't have to say if you don't want to. Were you born in Arkansas or are you a transplant or did you move to Arkansas? I said, you don't have to, nobody, if I ever ask anybody a question they don't feel comfortable answering, just say, hey, I don't want to tell you that. But, Because I know you said you were living in Arkansas. Um, okay, so you're born in Oklahoma City. Okay, well, I guess we'll forgive you for being born in Oklahoma City. No, I'm kidding. We are glad to hear, Arctic Fox. You're definitely a wonderful addition to Arkansas. Oh, but see, so then if oh, hold on. Oh well, I can put that up too. Miss Barbara says, I share everywhere I can. I love what you all do for families. Thank you, Miss Barbara. We love you. Hey, us creators and advocates and wanting to be a voice, we wouldn't be here with, unfortunately, I wish we could meet the families under better circumstances, obviously, but we wouldn't be able to do what we do or have the passion to do what we do without wonderful people like you, Miss Mary and Miss Kimberly, anybody else in here who has lost a loved one, has a loved one missing, has lost a loved one to any kind of violent crime. We all have to work together. As Sunshine says, and everybody says, it takes a village. It takes a village. All right, let me see what we got going. Okay, so I think I don't. You guys can read that, but I think we pretty much covered. So on this channel, we do not victim blame. We do not family blame. We do not bash families or victims. We stick to the factual information released by law enforcement and credible news sources. Everyone's opinion is welcome here, but we ask that you respect each other, the victims, and the victims' families. Please keep in mind, we, as the general public, do not have all the information that law enforcement has, and law enforcement is not obligated to release information that they deem is not necessary to release. They have a reason for not releasing certain information, and we must respect that. Finally, we do not know how we will react in certain situations, whether it be if you have a loved one go missing, if you lose a loved one to violent crime, any situation. Every human being is different. We all react differently. And just because someone's reactions or emotions do not seem, quote, normal to you, that does not mean that the families aren't grieving. It does not mean that they are not hurting. It does not mean that they don't care about their loved one. It doesn't mean that they're doing everything in their power to try to bring their loved one back to them. And we have to be respectful and of that none of us are the same. That's what is so wonderful about one of the wonderful things about the human race is we are all individuals. We all have emotions, different ways of expressing our emotions. And just because you think someone is not reacting the way that you would if you lost a loved one or have a missing loved one, so what? That's just to be blunt. So what? Everybody reacts different. Some people cry and scream and yell and beat on the walls. Some people don't. Some people keep it inside. That's their way of grieving and coping with things. So you cannot judge somebody by the way that they react to a situation. So with that out of the way, once again, we will see what we got next. So one thing that I wanted to mention really quickly is make sure my slide advanced. This is, I don't know if you can see that little picture, Takahi Shelby. This is the case from Arkansas, the Amir Ellis case. And anybody that does not know about the Amir Ellis case, who wants to know, and I encourage you, please, if you want to know more about the Amir Ellis case, I have a playlist of videos that I've done on the Amir Ellis case. He has his own separate playlist. I'm sure there are probably other news clips or creators out there who maybe have done some on Amir's case. Another sad, horrifying case, but Takahi Shelby is the fourth person to be arrested in Amir's case. She had a warrant put out for a national felony warrant put out for her arrest for, I believe it was felony kidnapping leading to homicide. Apparently she was on the run, but apparently now, hallelujah, as of March 28th of this year, she has been captured, or I believe it says that she turned herself in. So, and I think if I can get the article to come up, I have an article, but just a summary of it. A fourth suspect sought in last year's disappearance of Amir Isaiah Ellis, 20, was arrested Thursday, which was 2 days ago now, on a felony warrant for kidnapping, punishable by up to life in prison. And this was almost a month from the day the warrant was issued. Takahi Debrion Shelby, 18, turned herself in at the Garland County Detention Center around 3 p.m. Thursday. Hot Springs police officer first class Omar Cervantes told the Sentinel Record Friday morning. Like I said, I think I wanted to read the article because it had some remarks by Miss Jessica, who is Amir's mother. And you guys, what Miss Jessica has been through, all you mothers out there can understand. Miss Marion, Miss Barbara, Miss Kimberly, can relate to Miss Jessica. Let me see. Let me get a drink first before I take this down, and I'm going to see if it will let me share my screen so you can read along with me. Now, whether or not my swamp signal will do it, who knows? It's working on it. There it is. So this is from the Sentinel Record, and it is, I hope it'll let me read the whole article and didn't want me to pay $1. Fourth suspect arrested on kidnapping warrant in Ellis case. And you see there, my picture's a little laggy on my phone. That was the searches that they were having before they found Amir Ellis. So a fourth suspect sought in last year's disappearance of Amir Isaiah Ellis, 20, was arrested Thursday on a felony warrant for kidnapping, punishable by up to life in prison, almost a month from the day the warrant was issued. Takahi Debrion Shelby, 18, turned herself in at the Garland County Detention Center around 3 p.m. Thursday. Hot Springs police officer first class Omar Cervantes told the Sentinel Record Friday morning. Shelby's last known address was on Rocky Reef Circle, which is where Amir was kidnapped from. When the warrant was issued on February 27th, but she listed a Pearl Street address in Hot Springs on the inmate roster when she was booked in shortly before 4:30 p.m. Thursday. She remained in custody Friday on a $500,000 bond and is set to appear Tuesday in Garland County Circuit Court. This is Miss Jessica. God bless. Every time I see Miss Jessica, because, and I think I forgot to link it in the description box, go to Facebook and look up the Justice for Amir Ellis Senior Facebook group. Wonderful group. Miss Jessica, I don't think herself posts in there, but there's another lady in there that's either a family member of Amir's or a very close family friend, like a spokesperson that shares Miss Jessica's personal posts to the group. I've watched numerous video clips from the news of Miss Jessica talking about Amir and about Amir Jr. because Amir had a son that was born after he passed, so he never got to meet his son. It'll just break your heart. But Miss Jessica is another wonderful, strong lady. So Miss Jessica says, I'm so happy right now and so thankful to God because God has answered every one of my prayers throughout this entire nightmare. Jessica Ellis, Amir Ellis's mother, told the newspaper Thursday night. It's that thought alone that has my heart so full of joy it literally brings me to tears, she said. I'm just glad she is in jail, about to face the consequences for her actions, just like the other three. And the other three have been, there was 2 males and a female that have been charged with capital capital homicide in Amir's case. And now Takahi Shelby has been charged with kidnapping. So if it's kidnapping, if I'm remembering correctly, and somebody, because I'm not a lawyer, if you commit a kidnapping that results in a homicide, I think that kind of ups the stakes as far as what you can be charged with and how much, allegedly, if I have to say allegedly, whatever her role is, and I know very well what her role is, allegedly. This young lady needs to be, in my opinion, this young lady needs to be in prison for the rest of her life, along with the other three that were charged with the capital M. The remains of Amir Ellis were found in northern Garland County, which is in north central Arkansas, on December 16th, 2023, after he was reported missing on May 17th. 3 other teen suspects were arrested May 27th and each initially charged with kidnapping in the case, but a capital M charge was added against each of them January 4th after the remains were confirmed to be those of Amir. Nathaniel Speed, 18, of Hot Springs, Alexa Chambers, 18, who is reportedly homeless, and a juvenile who is Alexa Chambers wasn't a juvenile, but there was also a juvenile. He is not a juvenile anymore, so his name has been released. Jorge Castillas. But at the time he was arrested, he was 17. They were all arrested in Fort Smith on May 27th on the kidnapping charges and have remained in custody on $1 million bond. Jessica Ellis said her son would have been 21 on April 4th, so Amir's birthday is coming up and not too long. Noting, quote, now we have something else to celebrate on that day. They finally have the ones who stole his life from him, and Amir can begin to rest in peace and love. She had a message Thursday night for her son. I got him, son. I got him, just like I promised. I love you, Mom. It was unknown if Shelby had left Hot Springs and returned or stayed throughout the last month. And Jessica Ellis said, quote, I'm definitely curious about that and where she has been. According to the probable cause affidavit on Shelby, Takahi Shelby, on May 17th, Jessica Ellis reported to Hot Springs Police that her son was missing and was last seen on May 15th at Shelby's then residence on Rocky Reef Circle. Jessica Ellis said a female occupant of the residence contacted her on May 17th, which was the day after Amir went missing or was abducted, to report her son was taken on May 15th, 2 days later, by 2 unknown males. On May 18th, detectives met with Shelby, and she reportedly told them she did not know who was responsible for taking Amir, but that 2 unidentified males entered the residence and took him and did not provide any other information. And she knew full well, this is just my opinion, from what I know and what I've read, she knew full well what was going on, and she played a part in it. So on May 25th, during a second interview with police, Shelby reportedly said that Speed, Chambers, and the other male suspect came to the restaurant where she was working around 9 p.m., May 15th, and Chambers asked if she could get Ellis to come to her home where they would come and pick him up. No, they came and abducted him. Shelby says she agreed and arranged for Amir to come to her house shortly after 10:30 p.m. Once he was there, she says she phoned Chambers to tell her, and a few minutes later, Chambers told her that they were outside. She says she then went to the restroom as Speed and the other male entered the house and went into the bedroom where Amir was staying. Shelby said a struggle ensued between Ellis and the other two, so she went outside to her backyard. Moments later, she said she saw Speed's car leave from her house without its lights on. Shelby told detectives she had disconnected the video surveillance system at her residence just prior to this occurring. A statement obtained from the second male after his arrest reportedly corroborated Shelby's statement. After further investigation, a warrant for Shelby's arrest was issued on February 27th. So that just gives information about. So this is Miss Takahi Shelby, the fourth person that has been arrested for kidnapping in Amir's case. Right, so that was. So now we have the fourth person, main person that was arrested or that was involved allegedly in Amir's case. She is now behind bars. And she can go on trial, hopefully, and face the consequences of her actions. Let me check. Get caught up in comments again. Absolutely. Well stated, Mind the Sunshine. Mind the Monster says, we're the voices for the voiceless and the good ones in a field of so many rotten seeds. Absolutely, ma'am. You're correct. Yep, that's another valid point. Arctic Fox says I always use Adam Walsh as an example. When he went missing, people were quick to blame his mom because she was the last person to see him, and John was doing all the interviews. Absolutely. Unless you have, I mean, like, we talked, not to get off subject on this again, but, that's fine. It needs to be talked about. I've come to, just from watching all these parents that have lost their children, their loved ones, there's usually either one parent or the other that is the spokesperson. Morgan Nick's mom, Colleen, comes to mind because Colleen's dad, which when Morgan went missing, Colleen and Morgan's dad had already, I think maybe the year before, a couple years before, had gotten divorced. And Morgan's dad took a lot of heat and a lot of grief because he was there a lot of the time for the press, talking to the press. But Colleen was the spokesperson. She was the mama bear, still is. Please check out the Morgan Nick Foundation. Anybody who's not checked it out, they do a lot of great work. But yeah, just because people wanted to say, oh, he has something to do with it. Why doesn't he want to talk to the press? Why doesn't he want to give a statement? But it just, and I've watched many interviews with him, and it's just, it comes down to personality and how parents are dealing with looking for their child, grieving for their child. That's just the way it is. You can't, just because somebody does not speak to the press or speak to the media does not mean that they have something to hide. Sometimes, every case is different. There have been cases where people have had stuff to hide, but that's not always the case. You can't judge every case and every person the same way about how they deal with things. Absolutely. Miss Barbara says it's a living nightmare when you don't know where your loved one is. Absolutely, ma'am. Arctic Fox says, I followed his case closely. Are you talking about Amir's case? I'm behind in comments again, so if you can correct me. Another new name, Jason Boyer. Welcome, Jason. Good to have you here. Said he was dealing with the sun. Good to have you here, Jason. If you don't mind, you don't have to, but if you want to let us know how you found us, please do. But regardless of how, it doesn't matter though. Regardless of how you found us, we are glad that you are here. Apparently, a lot of you in chat know Jason, so. Ah, awesome. Arctic says, we worked with Jessica on Amir's case with the Aware Foundation. Bless you, sir. Oh, when Amir, I mean, I followed Amir's case since as soon as they reported it, that first report on the news, locally here, I'm in central Arkansas. Um, yeah. And it was just, once again, I was preaching about the, law enforcement does not we as the public are not owed every piece of information, but when they put that gag order on the case, it was just so and I understand why they did it, as to not jeopardize anything, but yeah, I was just any scrap of information that they released about Amir's case, I was just on pins and needles waiting for something, and then when they were, oh, it broke my heart when they had that first pretrial hearing with and I don't know which one of the three it was, because I think it was before, obviously before Takahi Shelby was named. But when when Miss Jessica came out of that pretrial hearing and they reported on the news, she said that she now knew that Amir, or that her son, was not coming back to her on his own 2 feet. I broke down. That just broke my heart. Mm. So, thoughts, prayers, and good vibes are still and always will be, with Miss Jessica, the whole family, with little Amir Jr. That's Amir's case is just it's become what I call one of my cases. It's not mine, but just one that I've taken into my heart, and it'll always be there. So thank you, Arctic, for everything that you did. Oh, so you knew has a channel. Miss Barbara said, "You knew is a great channel also. She was great to me today." I don't know if Mexi left. She was a mod. Um, I don't think I can do it from here. Just let me know, is your channel name the same as your username, and I might can, if I can get, without turning my live into a dumpster fire, I might can. I don't know if I have any other mods in here right now that can grab. Oh, Mom is in. Sunshine is in here. Yeah, or she was in here. Sunshine, if you're still in here, can you grab News channel and throw a link in? I think you're the only one here right now. If not, that's okay. I can do it. But yeah, anybody else in here? And if a channel gets Miss Barb's seal of approval, then that's good enough for me. I don't mind you sticking the link to News channel in there. Absolutely. Miss Barb wouldn't steer us wrong. I have all the faith in the world in Miss Barb and Miss Marion and Miss Kimberly. I don't know if Miss Kimberly's still here. She may be lurking. That's okay. Welcome to all lurkers here. I'm sorry I forgot to say hi to my lurkers. Welcome, welcome everybody that's here. Oh, she beat me to it. She beat me by 5 minutes. Yep. Thank you, sunshine. There is you news link. I'm gonna have to go check it out. I'm sorry, I did not realize that you had a channel. I will definitely be subbing up and checking it out. Thank you, sunshine, for being being on the ball. I'm so behind in comments. Uh, yeah, Arctic. The hair. Yeah, the hair is. I don't know. I can't say anything. My hair sticks up when I get up in the morning. It's another reason that I don't have, besides my puffy face and my red nose, that I don't have my cam on tonight, because I didn't feel like putting proper clothes on. So I'm just sitting here with my legs propped up in my comfy jammies and my hello dude. My cat just decided to come join. Hey Tigger, you want to say hi? No? Okay. Apparently Tigger is uninterested tonight since I don't have the camera on. Anyway, so I'm just kicked back with my comfy jammies on and my hair up in a messy bun here or whatever on the top of my head, and got my socks on to keep my feet from getting cold. So anyway, there's Encyclopedia. I was just thinking about you earlier. Welcome, Encyclopedia of True Crime and the Unknown. Good evening, just getting here. Welcome, welcome. Encyclopedia Brown, as I like to call her. Anybody who's of a certain age will remember the Encyclopedia Brown books. I love those books. And Encyclopedia is also working on building a channel. I don't know if she's got any more content up yet, but hey. And the channel is the same name as her username, so definitely go check out Encyclopedia. Good to have you here, ma'am. There's Miss Teresa Bright. Welcome, welcome, Miss Teresa. You're not late. Well, I've made it through one story and I've been on here an hour and a half so far. And I got some missing persons and some other stuff to get to. But welcome, welcome, Miss Teresa. Good to have you here, ma'am. Yes, absolutely. I'm assuming you're talking about parents and not talking. Encyclopedia says some people have such extreme anxiety they can't talk. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, folks, we can't, and I'm not saying anybody here does, but because I have a wonderful, wonderful community, and knock on wood, I'm knocking on my wooden head right now. We have not had here in our chats on my channel, we have not had trouble with any trolls or any, we're all adults here. We all have adult discussions. We have had no problems. So, but yeah, you can't judge people by whether or not they get in front of a camera to talk about their missing loved one or whatever the case may be. Some people just aren't built to do that, and especially anyway. And then on top of that, you're going through this grief and anxiety over your missing loved one, your uh, loved one that you've lost due to violence. So that just, yeah, it just adds to it on top. Oh, I didn't mean to. Didn't realize I closed out your comment, but yeah, yeah, you can't judge people. Everybody reacts differently, folks. We are all humans. That is the wonderful thing about the human race. We're all different, but yet we're the same. At least the good ones are. But everybody reacts differently. Yes, ma'am. That's just exactly what we've been talking about. Encyclopedia says people on the outside add more trauma to an extremely traumatizing event and wrongly accuse people. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Jason said he was invited, and I'm just fighting for justice too. Absolutely. Who invited you? Like I said, regardless, whoever invited you, thank you, whoever it is, very much. Thank you for choosing to come and join us and fight the good fight. And we appreciate you being here. Absolutely. We are all fighting for justice, for awareness, for everything. Yes, absolutely. And I think I know what you're talking about. Arctic says, as a creator who's been privy to information not yet made public, let me just put this out there that just because you have information does not mean that it is meant for public consumption. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. Some things are just, and I understand that things are public record and or some things are public record, but just because they are public record does not mean that they need to be put out there. I agree with you wholeheartedly. And Miss Barbara said, hashtag justice for Gina Dawn Brooks at Jason Boyer. Okay, Gina Dawn Brooks, I know that name. Jason, are you connected to Gina? I'm trying to get familiar with new cases, but I do know Gina Dawn Brooks' name. Arctic says he's followed Gina's case too. Prayers for you, Jason. Okay, I'm gonna look into, yeah. And before I forget, let me make sure I made my new banner. I now have a new email address where anybody can email me if you have a case that you want me to take a look at and to do the best I can here on my little baby village that we've got going on here. You can email me at southerngaltruecrime@hotmail.com. Um, and just give me the name of the victim, the state it's in, any information you have. Whether it is somebody you know, a family member, a friend, or just a case that you think needs more attention and more awareness anywhere in the United States, anywhere in the world. And I will do my best to do my homework, my research, and share it out. But for anybody who's got my original personal address or email address, I know Miss Barb does. Miss Marion should have. Miss Kimberly has it. You guys, can anybody who has my original personal email address, don't give it out, but you guys can still use it. I trust you guys with it. Not that I don't trust anybody here in chat with it, but you never know who's lurking that may have not so good intentions. So I just decided to do a separate email address for people to email me stuff that is separate from my personal, because my original email had my personal name and everything on it. But anyway, I set it up. I actually set the Hotmail address up this evening, and I tested it, and it's working. So definitely email me if you have any questions, comments, or any cases that you want me to share. All right, get back to the comments. Yep, that's another valid point. Encyclopedia says talking would actually make them seem more guilty just due to their anxiety and nerves. Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, hold on, let me get a drink. I'm gonna try to make it through this without losing my voice. And in my opinion, when you have parents or loved ones or whoever, family members of missing persons, missing children, anybody or a loved one or missing person, you're damned if you do. The parents or the family is damned if they do and damned if they don't. If they don't talk, they get criticized and say, "Oh, they're hiding something. They're not talking." But when they do talk, if one syllable of one word changes from one interview to the next, people just pounce all over it and, oh, they're lying. They said this last time. They used a different word. They spelled it. I mean, it's just so freaking, I'm sorry, guys. I usually don't get this wound up, but it's just so freaking ridiculous. I mean, come on. Oh, and it's like Encyclopedia said, the anxiety, the nerves, people are gonna. And another, going back to Arctic Fox on when Duchess and they were talking about Sebastian's case, the live I watched. I think they made one of them made the point, or somebody made the point that in the beginning, the parents, step parents, whoever, and this not just with Sebastian's case, with any case, in the beginning, there may be information that they're not comfortable talking about yet. But as the longer it goes on, they may start talking about other information. So people are going to say, oh, you never mentioned that before. So you're lying. You're making it up. Your story changed, blah, blah, blah. It just, it drives me crazy. I'm going to have a drinky drink. And I don't even drinky drink that much anymore. But anyway, off my soapbox again. I'm gonna be up there with Sunshine if she's still here, with Mom, Mind of Monsters. We're gonna have our soapboxes, 3 or 4. We're gonna have skyscraper soapboxes together. I think. Oh goodness, goodness, goodness. Exactly. Thank you, y'all. If this, I already knew just from, I'm still getting to know Encyclopedia, but what she just said here, I don't jump on the quote, parents did it train unless law enforcement has some sort of proof of it being the case. Heck, exactly. Thank you. Oh, people, social media, and I include YouTube into YouTube. All the social media platforms can be used for good if it is used for good. But when social media is used for wild, outlandish theories, conspiracies, things that are thrown out there as being confirmed as true when they're not true, when they haven't been confirmed by law enforcement or a member of the family, and people just take it as gospel just because it's on Facebook or it's on Instagram or it's on, some YouTuber said it. It just, I just don't understand. It's like the mob mentality, the pariah effect. I don't know. It just drives me bats. You know. Oh, thank you. Oh, should have known. Jason Boyer said Miss Barb invited him. Thank you, Miss Barb. I should have known it was Miss Barb. We love Miss Barb. We love everybody. Everybody that shares our channels, not just mine, all of our I have lots of creators in here. I'm so honored that other creators come in here. We have to support each other. We have to support the families. It's a symbiotic relationship. So thank you. Miss Barb is so good about sharing, and just numerous people are. Oh, my comments just, hold on, guys. My comments just jumped again. It's like that. It's like my laptop sends them to me in batches. Just when I think I'm getting caught up, they jump on the. Absolutely. Encyclopedia says, and judging people on events from earlier in their lives is unfair to me. We all made mistakes. Absolutely. And that is one thing. Once again, going back to, I'm not going to put that information out there because, like, even though it is out there, but I'm not going to repeat it. Just like Arctic said, just because it's out there doesn't mean it needs to be shared. But some information I did not know before I watched the live about Sebastian's case that they did, that Arctic and Duchess and the other lady, Crystal, I apologize if that's the wrong name, gave about other members of the family besides the two members of the family that are getting the heat. I did not know that information. And it's like they said, if you're going to jump on some family members, you better be sure you don't say anything, because, or actually you shouldn't say anything because you don't have all the information that is there, not for public consumption. And Arctic knows what I'm talking about, and anybody else who's watched that live. Yeah, we do not know everything, and we should not make judgments until it's put out there by law enforcement. We don't know what we don't know. They said that too. We don't know what we don't know. Absolutely, Jason. Jason says there are things with Gina's info I could never say because it's not for public. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm definitely going to look into Gina's case, Jason. And I don't know how you are related. If you want to say, that's fine. I know there's other people in here who know your case, Gina's case better, but I have heard her name mentioned probably in the Facebook groups, maybe that I'm in, the cold case and missing persons groups that I'm in. So I will definitely I will look into it, and if you would like me to, I can definitely do share Gina's story. I'll be more than happy to do that. Absolutely. Arctic says he has seen some stuff from cases that he's worked on um, that should never be made public. Absolutely. Hey, Miss Barbara, Miss Barbara says, I'm talking all I can to whoever will listen at this point. Nothing to lose. Absolutely. Miss Barbara, you are free to say anything you want in here, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You, Miss Marion, Miss Kimberly, Jason, Mr. Jason, anybody. I mean, God bless you all. God bless you all. Cyclopedia says, I set up an excuse me, set up an email to use with my account today and actually used Encyclopedia Brown as part of it. I'd like to take credit for a little bit of that. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Arctic says that he needs a link to Encyclopedia's channel. It is her username, I believe. Oh, Mom is still here. She's probably already put it in. Yep, she did. I should have known. Thank you, Sunshine, for being here. I know you're busy with your channel and your life in general. So thanks for being here. But yeah, there's an Encyclopedia's channel. Definitely go check it out. Exactly. A homeless man wearing Raleigh's shirt. See, see, Arctic, you're gonna get me off on another tangent here. That's okay. We can be here all night. I don't care. I don't have anything else to do. So as long as there is one person in here listening to me ramble, then I'll talk until my voice gives out. But so this information, so this is, but once again, this is another part of the live too, is for me to get caught up because I followed obviously the Raleigh strain case. Another horrible, horrible tragedy. So now apparently a couple of days ago, whenever I was coherent enough to come out of my coma, um, to try to catch up on some of the news, but apparently a second autopsy was done by the family, which is perfectly fine. Hey, if if you want a second autopsy, most definitely. But apparently they said that Riley was found. He wasn't wearing his boots or his pants, I believe. His wallet was missing, which was most likely, maybe, probably, in my opinion, in his pants. So now either you got the ones out there saying that it's the smiley face. I can't say the K word. The smiley face offender. And then, and it could be, it's either somebody, in his condition, because he was, obviously been drinking, possibly drugged. Who knows? Anything is possible to me. I don't know about that part, but with the drinking, the possible concussion, because we've seen the video of him falling, horrible, and busting his head on that concrete. Possible that he could have been stumbling down by the bank and passed out, and somebody stole his boots and his pants. But then again, if the current is strong enough and he was in there for a while, it's possible the current could have taken his boots or pants. Or I've heard somebody else mention it was possible, could have been possible, that if he was coherent enough, because if you're in water, cowboy boots and blue jeans are definitely going to weigh you down. It's possible he could have taken his, somebody mentioned he could have taken his boots and his pants off. To me, I would think that most likely the current took them, but I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there. That's just speculation, thoughts on my part. But then they said the second autopsy said that there was no water in his lungs, which there is a thing called dry drowning. You have esophageal spasms, where it's technically they consider it a drowning, but it could be due to heart failure, due to esophageal spasms, and water doesn't get that one is another one. There's a whole host of things that could have happened. Like I said, I'm not an expert. I've just gone off what I've heard other experts or people say. But and when I say experts, I'm talking about law enforcement, CSI people, medical examiners, stuff I've read. But anyway, that's a whole different can of worms. But just obviously thoughts, prayers, and good vibes to Riley's family too. Oh goodness, whole bunch of got in just when I get to the bottom, and a whole new batch of comments comes here. That's okay. Yes, Mr. Jason says, very true. Our story does not change, but the smallest thing can change, or the way you say something can cause disbelief. Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because especially at at the beginning, either by choice or not, you may leave something out. Or not you, but anybody, family member who's lost somebody, or as a missing child or a missing loved one. Just because you don't, in your very first statements that you make to the police or to the press or whoever, if you don't, just because you don't include every little tiniest bit of information. Now, if it's something big, that would have bearing on the case, maybe, but if it's just some minute detail, you chalk it up to the parent being traumatized, and with the, like encyclopedia said earlier, the anxiety and the nerves and the grief and the trauma, trying to just your brain, the human brain is a wonderful thing, but it's not meant, it's to process some things that it is forced to process because, luckily, thank goodness, I've never lost a loved one to a violent crime. I have lost a cousin to self-harm, and my father passed away in a car accident, very unexpectedly. And then, of course, my cousin with the self-harm was very unexpected. And even with just that, your brain, you go numb. Your brain doesn't. It takes time to process it, and it's just like I said, unless you've been there and something has happened to you, God forbid, you've lost a loved one to for whatever reason, whether if it's self harm, an accident, violence, whatever, going missing. Um, the human brain just, you know, it can't process it. It has, trouble processing. Getting down through comments, guys. Absolutely. Arctic says, let me know if I can help in any way. Try to support new creators. Yep. Arctic Fox is a rock star. It's a rock star. Yep. Miss Marianne says, share, share, share. Absolutely. The more people that we can get, not just on my channel, all of our channels, all of us, anybody, you don't have to be a creator. Anybody can get on, go on Facebook. Um, there are numerous, and I've got, if you go to my Facebook group on, it's called obviously Southern Gal True Crime. I have a group and a page, but I post more in my group. Anybody can share a missing persons post. Can share, go on the internet and share a link to a missing person story anywhere and everywhere. Anybody can. All of us are capable of doing, or most of. I'm not the most technologically savvy person at times, but I can figure out how to copy and paste and share stuff. So yeah, anybody can do it. Thank you. Arctic Fox says it is Crystal. Thank you. I'm glad I got her name right. I was thinking it was Crystal. Thank you, Arctic. Yes, absolutely. Jason says, please share and tell our voices that need heard. Well, that's what we're here for, sir. Most definitely. Oh goodness. Encyclopedia says I've gone back to college and am getting my double major bachelor's in forensic psychology and forensic social work. Bless your heart. Kudos to you. You go, girl. Says it was you that influenced the email. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, wonderful. That's wonderful to hear. Not about me influencing the email or whatever, but you're getting your forensic psychology and forensic social work. I have a niece that is basically, I guess, what you call a criminal profiler. That's what she went to school for and got whatever degrees and such that you have to have or whatever to be a profiler. And she goes into these prisons now and has to talk to these offenders. And then her sister is a social worker. So, hey, Karen Lee, good to see you, my dear. Good to have you here. I'm sorry if my voice is cracking. We're almost 2 hours in. I hadn't even got to the missing persons yet. That's all right. We'll get them. We'll get them. I may be doing a 4 hour live like Arctic and Duchess and Crystal did that one night. That's all right. Like I said, as long as there's at least one person to hear, listen to me babble on, and my voice doesn't give out on me, we're doing good. Yep, that is another valid, good point. Encyclopedia says, going back to Riley, says if he was caught on something, they could have been removed by current pretty easily. But if he was drunk, he could have removed them himself. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I know, going back to my, 30 years ago, my younger, wilder days, whenever I would drink, I would get hot and I would start coming out of clothes. I mean, you know, so yeah, absolutely. Yes, that, Miss Encyclopedia says social media can be evil. Some creators strive on drama because that gets more clicks on videos. Absolutely. See, and that's why aside from the fact that there are so many cases that do, and I'm not begrudging the cases that get the national attention. Um, you know, kudos for, you know, but for every one case that you see on TV, there are unfortunately 100 or more that you don't hear about nationally and that you don't even hear about locally. And that is the sad truth. And so that's why I make it, for the most part, 99.9% of the cases, missing persons and cold cases that I concentrate on are the ones that you don't hear about on the national, in getting all the attention. Um, because they are just important. And I'm not saying that I'm by no means saying that the ones that get the national attention are not important and they don't deserve attention, but there are so many others out there that don't get attention at all. Like I said, even locally. Oh yes, Sunshine absolutely says R.I.P. Riley. Heartbreaking for his family, and his mama had me in tears. Oh, me too, girl. She said, uh, "Do me a favor, hug your babies tight tonight." Oh, I was crying. I was crying. Yeah. Arctic makes a good point. He says, "I will say the boots being missing is suspicious, in my opinion. I can buy the current taking the pants off, but not the boots." Yeah, I mean, because when I was younger, maybe I wore cowgirl boots, and they weren't very they weren't very comfortable, honestly. So I could see him maybe, and it could be, and it's like I can't remember who mentioned it. I watched so many. Well, somebody mentioned that it could be that you know there are there were homeless camps down that way. I'm not saying that all homeless people are bad, or but it could be that a homeless, or not even a homeless person, just somebody else. Possible that Riley could have, passed out somewhere down around there by the bank or wherever, and somebody walked by and said, "Hey, those are some nice boots. He's passed out. He's never going to know," and took them off his feet. That absolutely possible. I agree. Oh goodness. So sorry, Encyclopedia. Encyclopedia says, "Thank y'all. Advocating for victims and their families is something the world needs. I lost oldest stepson to violent crime." I'm so sorry, Encyclopedia. Um, Thoughts, prayers, and good vibes to you, hun. Most definitely. Most definitely. Yeah, Miss Barb said, "I cried like a baby watching Riley. Prayers for his family and friends." Yes, ma'am. Oh my goodness. You guys are killing me, and you'll make me start crying again. So now Arctic says, or it's talking to Encyclopedia, but says, I came to this community in large part due to being touched by loss myself. When I was 14, my best friend was kidnapped and assaulted and killed. Oh, I'm so sorry, Arctic. And I know your real name, but I'm not going to say it because I don't know if you want it put out there. But thoughts, prayers, and good vibes to you, my friend. Also, to everybody, anybody else that's in here or watching, uh, lurking, listening now, watching on replay. If you've ever been touched by, lost somebody by violent crime, thoughts, prayers, and good vibes. Absolutely. Yeah, that's another good valid point too. Encyclopedia said boots come off pretty easily if they are full of water and have pressure strong enough and pulling in the right direction, or someone steps in ankle deep mud. Yes, I have lost now, not cowboy boots, but of course living on a farm, growing up on a farm, living in the country. Um, Lots of mud out here, and especially when we were kids and teenagers, and we'd have to help out in the garden or out in the fields. Flagging for when they were stemming the field or fertilizing the field. I lost many a rubber boot to the mud. So yeah, it can very easily happen. Them suckers get stuck in the mud, and you're not getting them back. Unless you want to get a shovel and dig. But it's easier to go buy you a new pair of rubber boots than try to dig them out of you know, dig them out of the mud. Oh, Arctic said he is catching up 2 times, had to make and help mom back to bed. I hope your mom's doing. I know you mentioned that you were taking care of your mom. I hope she's doing well. I hope she's doing well. Yeah, that's also another good point. Arctic said, I don't know, my boots are murdered to get off. Oh, I said the M word. Anyway, my boots are hard to get off at night, and my body isn't swelling from decomp. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, with the boots, who knows? It could be a whole, it could be, there's a million different ways that the boots could come off. The jeans could have come off. They could have been taken off by Riley. Somebody could have taken them off him. They could have been taken in the water. I mean, who knows? We don't know. Yep. Encyclopedia says she stepped in mud when walking her horse and walked out of my boots that was stuck. Yeah. I'm telling you, like I said, I don't know about cowboy boots, but I wore my fair share of rubber boots, and yeah, they get stuck in the mud very easily. All right, I think I'm caught up again. Let's see what we got next. Okay, so this is Tiffany Foster. She was one of my cases of the week a couple of weeks ago, and I was gonna link. I forgot to go back and because I added this in last minute to my slideshow because I've been wanting to include this in my last few live streams, and I kept forgetting. But Tiffany Foster, you check my playlist. It is under, I believe, unsolved cold cases or solved cold cases. Tiffany's life was taken. There was her husband, and I believe one other person or two other people were charged and convicted of her homicide. Her body has never been found, unfortunately. And during the when I did it for Case of the Week, it mentioned that she had, I believe, 3 children. And I think, and this is what you see on the left there, of course, is a picture of Tiffany. On the right is a DM I got on a Facebook Messenger from, I think it was Miss Tamara, from one of the Facebook groups that I'm in, that apparently knows Miss Tiffany's family. And after the video, she said, because we were hoping that the kids grew up to be, healthy and taken care of and, living their best lives. And so Miss Tamara, I believe it was, has sent me a DM, and it says, I also wanted to update you on her children. She said they are all with their dad. They are thriving. One of them is in college now. The other is getting ready to go to college, and the youngest is thriving. And said that she had seen them at an event a few weeks ago. So that is great news to hear, that Tiffany's children are doing well. So I want to thank Miss Tamara for that information. Arctic, I don't know if you're talking about me or somebody else. I'm got so many conversations. Says I love that you're so filtered in contrast to my anything goes completely unfiltered channel. Well, see, I don't know if you're talking to me, and if not, I apologize, but I love your unfiltered. You say things that I would love to say on my channel, but I just kind of, and I'm not saying that you're wrong for saying it. I think I'm sitting there going, yeah, you go, let them have it. But yeah, I love your unfilteredness, if that's a word, your unfilteredness. So yeah. See, Encyclopedia says after 10 days, there might have been enough decomp to assist the boots coming off. Not sure what the temp was exactly in the water while he was in it. Yep, that is, yep. Yeah, and I don't know what is in Nashville. I'm trying to remember how hot. Of course, I'm in Arkansas, so I'm a long way from Nashville. I've been there before, and I've actually been down on Broadway at least once in the daytime. Um, but yeah, that would make sense, most definitely. There you go. Arctic says, I just call it what it is. What are they going to do? Demonetize my unmonetized channel? Exactly. Yeah, you keep doing what you do. You do you. I love it. Absolutely. Arctic said that's so awesome. The kids are doing all right. Yes, I was so happy when I believe it was Miss Tamara said that the kids were doing very well. Absolutely. Encyclopedia says we'll all have to do a panel show one day. Yeah, I've been wanting to have one or many of you guys, other creators, family members on my channel, but with my swamp signal, as I call it, or as I think Dandy came up with that too, called my signal and a sunshine signal because she's down in Florida. Swamp signal, my country signal. I would just feel so horrible if I was on my channel and my swamp signal gave out and it crashed and burned and in the middle of something important. But yeah, I would love for any or all of us at some point to get together or somewhere on somebody's channel and talk about some of these cases, get some awareness out. That would be awesome. See, now I can just from what I've watched of Arctic, it says I performed at a comedy club in Nashville a few years back. I can see you doing comedy, most definitely. I think it was Mr. Steve that said that he would love to sit down or have coffee with you because of your humor and your outspokenness. Yeah. Yeah, Encyclopedia says she's in the boonies, but just got fiber optic internet through electric company. Yeah, see, I don't even I have no internet, no Wi-Fi. I go through the Wi-Fi hotspot on my phone to do StreamYard on my phone, and then to the Wi-Fi hotspot so I can work my laptop to read articles and to and it's been, I shouldn't say anything because it'll probably crash and burn, but my laptop has actually been working. My StreamYard on my laptop has been working tonight. That's awesome. Arctic says, I would love that encyclopedia. I will come on any panel of the good eggs here on YouTube. Absolutely. All right, I think I'm caught up again. Let's see what we got next. So Ebby and Arctic, you probably heard of this case too, being as you're been in Arkansas for 40 years. Ebby Stepach. Her birth. I wanted to just mention Ebby, and I do. I'll read for anybody not familiar with Ebby's case. I will read a little bit of it. I think probably from Wikipedia. Sorry, I had to get a drink. But Ebby's birthday is March 31st, which is Sunday on Easter. So I just wanted to include Ebby tonight. And let me see if I can get her information up. But I encourage you, there are a lot of, no, I'm not going to screen share this. I'm going to leave her picture up while I read it. But there have been a lot of good videos by some creators who are much better than I am. Ooh, almost knocked my table over. Almost had a dumpster fire. Creators that do much better job than I do, who have covered Ebby's case. But it is an Arkansas case. And like I said, being as her birthday would be Sunday, and I believe she would be 27 because she was born in March 31st, 1997. So Ebby Jane Stepach was an American woman who disappeared under mysterious circumstances in Little Rock, Arkansas. Days before her disappearance, she had accused 4 men of a gang assaulting her at a party that she had attended. On October 25th, 2015, she placed an erratic phone call to her older brother, Trevor, and this was the last known contact anyone had with her. On October 27th, her abandoned car was discovered in Shalamont Park in West Little Rock, Arkansas. Searches of the woods in the park were undertaken, but no sign of Ebby was found. She remained a missing person for nearly 3 years before her body was discovered in a drainage pipe in Shalamont Park in May of 2018 in the immediate vicinity of where her car had been found. She had been deceased since the time that her car was found 3 years prior, and her death obviously was classified as a homicide. Let me get down to the disappearance. Ebby last had contact with her older brother Trevor around 2 p.m. on October 25th, 2015, in a phone call. Trevor described her as seeming, quote, disoriented during their conversation. She initially told him that she was parked outside of his house, but upon hanging up and walking out to the street, he did not see her car. When he called her back, she answered, this time telling him that she was in her car, but she was unsure where she was parked at. After she told him, quote, I am effed up, the phone call ended. This was the last known contact anyone had with her. On October 27th, Ebby's 2003 Volkswagen Passat was discovered by a security guard, abandoned in a parking lot near a wooded area in Shalamont Park, which is a neighborhood park in West Little Rock. The security guard notified police and waited approximately 2 hours for an officer to arrive. However, no officer ever arrived. The next day, after seeing the vehicle still there as he did his rounds, he once again called and waited for police, who finally arrived around an hour later and discovered that the car belonged to Ebby. The car had an empty gas tank as well as a dead battery, and the key had been left in the ignition. Several searches of Shalamont Park were undertaken after the discovery of Ebby's car, though no additional evidence was found in the surrounding woods. Per a 2017 report, the men that Ebby had accused of assaulting her had all spoken to police, though no formal searches of their cell phones were done for the alleged video of the incident, because I cannot say the R word on YouTube or they'll zap me. In an attempt to bring publicity to her case, Ebby's mother and brother Trevor appeared on Dr. Phil in December of 2017. The Stepach family offered a reward of $50,000 with information leading to Ebby's discovery. Around 10 a.m. on May 24th, 2018, while performing another search of Shalamont Park, police discovered skeletal remains in a drainage pipe in the vicinity where Ebby's car had been discovered. These remains were subsequently confirmed to be those of Ebby. Extensive searches for Ebby at Shalamont Park had been held in the past. Margie Foley, a female friend and mother of one of Ebby's best friends, told police that she had smelled decomposition while doing a private search of the area and had alerted the authorities. Upon the arrival of police at the scene, Foley claimed that she was, quote, kind of dismissed by the officers, who told her the park had been searched with recovery canines who would have picked up on the scent of human decomp and assured her that it, quote, must be an animal or something. But at any rate, they did thankfully find Ebby's remains in this. It was, they said it was a drainage pipe. And where they found her, from what I remember, because you've seen the it's not the manhole covers, but like the big drains, the storm drains. It was found at the other opposite end, where one of those storm drains, wherever it emptied out to on the opposite end of the park, is actually, if I'm remembering correctly, where they found her remains at. So, but regardless. This case is still unsolved. Nobody has ever been, as far as I know, named as a person of interest. Definitely nobody has ever been charged in her case. So this is another one that Ebby's family definitely needs some closure on. Yep, absolutely. Miss Barbara says, wow, that poor family. Prayers for the family. Absolutely. Argus says he said it, not zapped yet. Oh, the K word or the M word? I know. I just try to be careful because, I don't know. Because, see, I'm fairly relatively new at, doing this YouTube thing. And I've heard and said, don't say this word or that word. They'll zap you, or your video won't be, or live stream won't be pushed out. And, so I don't know. I just try to be careful. I'm still learning. Yep, exactly. Arcus says, sounds like when the dogs hit on the storage building looking for Timmy, blaming it on animals. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because the dogs hit on, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm remembering my research correctly, the dogs hit on two sheds. They let somebody look in one shed, but wouldn't let anybody look in the other shed. And yeah, that was one of the many not so kosher, hinky things, sketchy things about that case. One of, like I said, one of many. All right. Let's see. So that is Ebby Stepach's case from here in Arkansas. Like I said, I just wanted to since her birthday is Sunday, get her story out there to anybody who may not have heard it. I encourage you, like I said earlier, please do some research, do some reading up, watch some YouTube videos or whatever. Like I said, there are a lot of creators out there who've done a good job on Ebby's case. And as always, thoughts, prayers, and good vibes to Ebby's family. Oh, so get a look-see, said, I'm assuming going back to Timmy's case. said it could be a dead mouse. I was there. I'm sorry, but a dead mouse is not going to smell like a deceased human being. Granted, dead mice don't smell don't smell like a bed of roses, but there's definitely going to be a difference in the smell. Absolutely, Miss Mary, and justice for all, justice for Timmy Dees. Absolutely. And I have put, I forgot to mention in the description box, I put a link to the Justice for Durante Martin website. Please go check it out. I put a link to Justice for Timmy Dees Facebook group. Please go check it out. I put a link to Olivia's Army YouTube channel for Olivia Fowler, Miss Tamara's niece, and I put all kinds of links there. Please go to this when this is over. Go to the description box. Check out all the links I put in there, and I probably forgot to put some in there that I was going to add back in. But please go check out all those links. And if anybody here who's lost loved ones or know I have any cases, know of any Facebook groups, you can email them, either comment in chat or leave a comment after the stream is over, or email me or whatever, any links to any Facebook groups or social media that I don't know about, and I will include them, put them on my community page and in my Facebook group. Don't hesitate to put them in there. Right, so speaking of Durante Martin, this is Durante. Oh, what am I doing? Oh no, there we go. Trying to get my slides. I remember to download my slides so I can read them off my computers, make them big enough to read. This is Durante Martin, who, as we talked about earlier, for anybody that wasn't here, will be my Durante's case will be my case of the week for this coming Friday. This is from the Justice for Durante website. It's justicefordurante.com. Just gives a very brief. This is just not even the tip of the iceberg in this case, but just to give you a preview of Durante's case. It says on April 25th, 2021. Durante was found deceased in the attic of a house owned by a known white supremacist with a GSW to his head. The local coroner quickly ruled his death as self-harm after months of questions raised by his family and the completion of a second autopsy. An impaneled jury, and from what I understand, I don't know, or I don't think it's the same as a grand jury, but it was called please, anybody correct me if I'm wrong, a coroner's inquest. But after this impaneled jury heard all this, and I believe they would give all the same kind of evidence and witnesses or whatever as a grand jury would. So after this impaneled jury heard all this evidence and witness statements, they did come to the conclusion that Durante's death was the result of violence, which means it was not self-harm. It was not natural causes. It was not an accident. It was a homicide. But even after that, apparently, the powers that be up there in Fredericktown, they did not take it any further. As far as I know, nobody has ever been charged or questioned or named as a person of interest. Whole lot of questions once again and concerns with this case, just like with Timmy's case. And like I said earlier, that one name has popped up. Bobby Boone has popped up in both cases. So it has been, this says 1 year, but it has been almost 3 years now No one has been arrested. More questions have surfaced, and the Missouri Highway Patrol have shared nothing. It is time for the Department of Justice to get involved and find out who took the life of Durante Martin. So, like I said, that is just not even the tip of the iceberg of Durante's case that we will be looking at Friday. So please go check out. I do remember I did put the justiceforDurante.com link in the description section. I urge you, please go to that website. It has all the basic information. And once again, just like with Timmy's case, except for what the what's his name, James Wade, the person who owned the house, and the party goers that were there that night, and the 911 call, which I will be playing that 911 call, and you can listen to it. The 911 call is on the website. Once again, they took the word of just the people that were supposedly at the house that night about what happened and closed it, even though second autopsy was done that disputed the first autopsy, and then we had the coroner's inquisition or whatever it's called, and that jury decided from the evidence that they heard that it was Durante passed by violence, and still nothing has been done. So I encourage you, please do go check it out. You will be flabbergasted, confused, have questions, just like I do. Yep, absolutely. Arctic says these families should not have to keep paying out of pocket for second autopsies. It costs Miss Barb $5,000 to get a second autopsy on Timmy. That is ridiculous. That is just absolute ridiculous. It's a shame. Yep. Miss Barb said no investigation. Absolutely. Yep, I agree. Arctic says SMDH, shaking my damn head. Yep. I was about right when much less with Timmy's. And then you got Durant. When I got into Durante's after that, I was wanting to bang my head against the dadgum wall. I'm telling you. It's just, I don't know what's going on, but something is rotten in Denmark. Something is afoot at the Circle K. It is just unreal. It's unbelievable. Unacceptable. All right. Hold on. Let me grab a drink. We might be done by 3 hours, guys. I was thinking more about 2 hours tonight, but so far my voice is doing all right. Maybe a little scratchy, but that's all right. So this is Olivia Fowler. And I don't think I haven't seen, unless she's lurking, which is fine. I don't think Miss Tamara's been in here tonight. She usually comes in under Olivia's Army. Once again, I believe I did remember to put a link to Olivia's Army channel in the description box. Please go check it out. Olivia is, or Miss Tamara is Olivia's aunt. And I'm just going to give you, once again, because I was going to give you a preview of some cases that I'm going to be featuring. So probably after Durante's case, the next week, Olivia will be the case of the week. So I just want to give you a little, and once again, you can go out and Google or whatever Olivia's case. But I just wanted to give you some basic information. You can see this beautiful girl here is Olivia Samantha Fowler. She was just 26 years old when she was last seen on October 13th, 2021 in Meriwether County, Georgia. And her remains were found in December of 2022. So Olivia was last seen in Meriwether County, Georgia on August 13th, 2021. She disappeared in the early morning hours after leaving her boyfriend's house. And if I remember correctly, and please somebody, I know probably Miss Mary, anybody who's in any of the Facebook groups I'm in know. And I just see Arctic says he's covered Olivia's case. Didn't she went out and she was seen walking down some kind of a trail, and she was seen by a not a park ranger, but we call them here in Arkansas we call them game and fish, like game warden or a conservation officer who knew her apparently. I'm not saying, I don't know, I haven't researched deep yet on this one, but she was seen walking down a trail or by this conservation officer, game warden, whatever you want to. Yeah, game. Thank you. Arctic said game warden. Thank you. Who knew her, and then after that, that was the last confirmed sighting of her. And then on October 22nd of 2023, so they found the remains in December 2022, right? And then they were collected, obviously. And then on October 22nd of 2023, DNA testing conducted by the FBI confirmed that the remains found in December of 2022 were indeed Olivia. And I think I got this information from the disappearedblog.com, I believe. It says no further details have been released at this time, though authorities say her case remains under investigation. So we'll go back to, let me go back one to a picture of Olivia there. Sorry, I'm just reading comments. So Olivia will be my next case, most likely after Durante's, because Durante's is next week, and then the week after that will be Olivia's, and then I'll probably go back to another one of the Fredericktown cases, because that bunch of those. Just reading comments. Miss Barbara asks, okay, Arctic answer, Miss Barbara, because I don't know that question that Miss Barbara asked. I didn't know the answer. All right. Okay, so we'll get to some of our missing. This is, again, let me go back to my slides on my computer so I can read. My old eyes aren't so good. This is Evelyn Uretzi Guerrero Trejo. She is just 7 years old, and she went missing from Little Rock, Arkansas on October 23rd, 2022. So in October this year, it's going to be coming up on 2 years. She, at the time she went missing, she was 4 foot 50 pounds, Hispanic, female, black hair. It doesn't give an eye color. I'm assuming dark eyes. It says that she has been taken by her non-custodial parent. It doesn't say if it's the mother or the father. There is an active warrant for interference of custody against that parent. Once again, she was last seen in Little Rock. So if you have any information regarding Evelyn, where she may be, whichever parent took her, non-custodial parent took her, please contact the Little Rock Police Department at 501-371-4605. And next we have, this is Jasmine Ramos. The Fort Smith, and most of these I found are, well, let me go back. Evelyn's I found on the Morgan Nick Project Facebook page, and most of these other ones come from one of the many Facebook cold case missing person Facebook groups that I'm in. I perused them last night and this morning to feature. So Jasmine, it says the Fort Smith Police Department and the Arkansas State Police are asking the public for help in finding a missing 17-year-old teenager. Jasmine Ramos was last seen on March 21st in the 1400 block of North J Street. She was wearing a pink shirt, according to Fort Smith Police Department. Arkansas State Police says Jasmine sent a single reply to a text where she said she was far from Fort Smith. And according to Arkansas State Police, an attempt to ping her cell phone indicated that it was disconnected. Police say she has medical conditions that do require medication. So if you have anybody has any information, please contact the Fort Smith Police Department at 479-709-5100. So yeah, that doesn't sound with the medical condition. Of course, none of them are good, but 17 years old, medical condition. She sent a single reply, and then her cell phone was disconnected. We gotta get word out about Jasmine and all of these missing. So please share these live streams, these videos. The more you like, share, comment on these live streams and videos, not just from mine, but from all these wonderful creators that are, Arctic Fox does a hell of a job getting videos out about missing. Share everywhere and anywhere you can, please. All right, next we have Samantha Sperry. And I came across this post. It was from 2 days ago. It just, and I don't know who wrote the post, but it just, once again, as they all do, tugged at my heartstrings. On the right there, it's from Bring Samantha Home. So please go to check out that Facebook. I can't remember if it was a page or a group, but somebody has shared it into one of the groups that I'm in. But it says 6 years. I often wonder how it's been so long. You just seem to have vanished. It's a small town where everyone knows everything about everyone, but no one knows what happened to you. I can tell you, I live in a small town, less than 2,000 people. And this is from Graves County, Kentucky. So I don't know I don't know a whole lot about Kentucky. But if it's a small town, somebody knows something. But anyway, goes on to say, I would give anything to see you walk through the door, get a call that you were found, or to see your name pop up on my phone. 6 years is too long. Silence is not golden. Come forward with your info. Help us. Absolutely. All right, let me blow it up so I can read the poster. So on the left-hand side, it says, have you seen me? My name is Samantha Sperry, and I have been missing since March 27th, 2018 in Graves County, Kentucky. I have strawberry blonde hair, hazel eyes, 120 pounds, 5'6". Date of birth, 8/20/92. I was last seen wearing a gray hoodie and gray sweatpants with sneakers. I also have a rose with skull tattoo on right shoulder, 2 roses, and the word rose on the right side of lower abdomen, a tiger lily and sunflower on left thigh. I also have my eyebrow and ears pierced. And you can see there a picture of 2 people. On the bottom there, it says Wren Hendrickson and Dusty Holder, who were the last 2 people to have been with me when I disappeared. There is a reward offered for any information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for my disappearance. Please contact the Graves County Sheriff's Department at 270-247-4501 with any information you may have. And no bit of information is too small or insignificant. So please, anybody who may be watching now, watching the replay, if you're in the Graves County, Kentucky area, if you know anything about this case, please call the authorities, let them know. As Sunshine says, I don't know if Sunshine, if Mind the Monsters is still here, if you see something, say something. If you know something, say something. And if you're not in the Kentucky area, once again, share, share, share. As Miss Barbara said earlier, Miss Barb says share, and Miss Marion, everybody says share, share, share. Try to get some answers for these victims, for these families. All right. I'm going to run through these missing persons, and I'll get to caught up in comments. And I do have, I think, a couple, maybe a small article about the Caleb Harris case, because I remember I shared Caleb's flyer or post from one of the Facebook groups I'm in. And like I said, once again, now that I'm kind of coming out of my stupor here from being sick, that case has turned into, Caleb's case has turned into a very bizarre, scary situation. But this is Justin Lee Harrell, and this is from Sumter County, South Carolina. Family members and police need your help to find Justin Lee Harrell, 43. He is considered homeless transient. He was last seen by family in June of 2022, so almost 2 years once again. But it says that they were in contact with him by phone earlier this year. It is unclear if he remains in the Sumter County area. He is described as being 6 foot tall, about 150 pounds, blue eyes, light brown colored hair. If you have any information, please call the Sumter Police Department at 803-436-2700 or the nearest law enforcement agency if you have seen Harold or know where he can be found. And you can always call 911. So please get the information out about Justin Lee Harrell. Once again, share, share, share. We can't say it enough. All right, let's see where we're going. Okay. This is another one I got from, like I said, one of the Facebook groups that I'm in. I can't remember. There's so many that I looked through, went through all of them, and picked out some to share tonight. I try to grab as many as I can to share in all my any of my live streams and videos. This is Christina Ann, and I'm going to butcher this last name. I'm assuming the K is silent. I could be wrong. Norp. It's Knorpp. Christina is 17 years old, missing from Tucson, Arizona since September 30th, 2023. Christina Ann Norp, 17-year-old female. She may still be in the local area, or she may travel to New Mexico. It says her hair may be dyed blue or green. If you have any information, please contact the Tucson Police Department at 520-791-4444. She has a NCMEC case number. I'm assuming you can call NCMEC, which I believe is 1-800 The Lost. I think is NCMEC's number. So please, 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 if you have any information, you know something, say something, share. All right. Next we have Lindsay Hawkins. This is from Ottawa, West Virginia. So it says the West Virginia State Police is attempting to locate a missing 33-year-old female. Lindsay Gail Hawkins was last seen at her boyfriend's house in Ottawa, West Virginia at around 8 p.m. on May 18th, 2021. So this is another one, almost 3 years old. Sometime between May 18th and May 19th, a quote, suspicious fire broke out at the house. The state fire marshal deemed the house fire, quote, incendiary in cause. Lindsay hasn't been seen or heard from since. Her family said this is out of character for her not to be in contact, and they are concerned for her well-being. Lindsay's disappearance is still under investigation. If anyone has any information on the fire or Lindsay's whereabouts, contact the West Virginia State Police at 304-369-7800. And Lindsay is 33 years old, red hair, green eyes, 5'5", 125 pounds. So once again, if you have any information, call the West Virginia State Police, call 911, your local authorities. They can get you in touch with the right people. All right, we'll keep chugging on through here. This is Thorina Ann Watson, and this is from Boonville, Arkansas. I was like Boonville, duh. Boonville, Arkansas. Thorina has been missing as of May 2020, according to her daughter. She has never been heard from again. Her daughter reported her missing on July 27th. Few details are available in her case at the time. At the time, she was dating a man named Tom Reed. He lived in Sugar Grove. I'm assuming that's in Arkansas. I'm trying to think if I've heard of Sugar Grove. It must be a very, very small town, or it's either north, south, east, or west, that I have not heard of. She is 5'5" to 5'8", 110 to 130 pounds. Caucasian female, brown hair, hazel eyes. Her nickname is Lady Thor, and she may use the middle name Anne. It says her daughter reported her missing on July 27th. When she hadn't heard from her, it was common for her to dip in and out of communication. There are a few details in her case. She was dating a man named Tom Reed, according to her friends. He lived in Sugar Grove. It is unclear if he might have a specific date that she went missing. So if you have any information, you can contact the Boonville Police Department at 479-675-3508. Please call with any tips or reach out to our page anonymously. And this came from the Arkansas Justice Project Facebook page. All right, so next we are going to, this one has me, hold on, wrong page. This one blew my mind. Let me get to comments. Let me get caught up in comments again. Thanks, guys, for hanging in with me for almost 3 hours now. It's truly, truly appreciated. Everybody who's participating in chat, everybody who's lurking, everybody who will watch replay. Thank you so much for all the support and for listening to these, getting the information about all these very important cases. So I want to make sure I haven't missed anything in comments. Oh, Arctic just made me laugh. I don't know which one you're talking. Arctic says, I posted her to my community page, but my redneck behind wasn't even trying to pronounce that name for a video. Are you talking about Thorina? I don't know if I pronounced it right. Is that the one you're talking about, Arctic? Thorina Ann Watson. I don't know if that's the one you're talking about, but You crack me up, Arctic. I know people is saying you shouldn't be laughing, and then when you're doing it, guys, when you deal with and we do it by choice because we're passionate about it and want to get these stories out there. But when anybody who researches true crime, shares these missing persons, sometimes you got to laugh to keep from crying. That's just the sad truth of it. You got to have that. Even Mr. Steve, good old Mr. Steve says you got to, you got to have that dark humor. So I was not laughing about a case. I was laughing about the way Arctic phrased his comment. Miss Barb says she's beautiful. I don't know which one you're talking about, but all of them are beautiful. Yes, ma'am. Every single soul. And now Arctic says that one of them he did a video. I don't know which one you're talking about. And he says I've covered her. Okay, so Arctic is as per usual, as expected. Arctic is on it. I'm telling you, Arctic puts out like 100,000 million videos a day. I'm telling you, very, very well done. He is very well spoken. He does it much more eloquently than I do. Oh, but hey, as long as I can get the message out there and get these stories out there, in a way that's semi-coherent, I think I'm doing good. Uh-oh, mom's gonna have to, let's see. Mom's gonna have to let Sunshine Mind the Monster says Mayfield, Kentucky, right outside my hometown. I reached out to the family, did not go well. I was asked to back off from her case. Which case, if you don't mind, which case are you talking about? I just read off all these cases without stopping to read comments. So, Sunshine, which one are you talking about? I wonder why they wanted you to back off. I'm just being, if you can't give out any information, I understand, but I was just curious as to why they would ask you to back off. Yeah, that's true. Arctic says, I know small towns. I live in Van Buren. Oh, God. You're up there I call that Van Buren, Fort Smith, Alma. I call it one of the Bermuda Triangles of true crime up in that area. But anyway, it says I couldn't spit on the sidewalk without my parents finding out about it growing up. Yeah, same here. Like I said, I live in a town of less than 2,000. And I couldn't, when I was young, my young wild days, I couldn't even go the next town over to get in trouble because that's where my dad grew up in the next town over when they moved to Arkansas from Texas. And so all their friends they grew up with, I hung out with their kids, so they knew who I was, so I couldn't get in trouble even going the next town over. Okay, so Sunshine said my sister-in-law is friendly with her family, a tattoo artist. I still don't know which one you're talking about, but Orchid says no, the one from the Morgan Nick Foundation. Let me go back to on these slides. Evelyn. I'm confused. I'm behind in comments, so I don't know what. It's probably either you covered her case or did a video on it. I'm assuming that you meant. Thank you, Miss Barb. Miss Barb says, you're doing an awesome job. Thank you, ma'am. I take that very honored that you would say that, ma'am. I do my best. Oh goodness, you guys. Okay, Sunshine said Samantha Graves count. Okay. Oh, gotcha. Okay, let me find her. Oh, no, I went back too far. This one, no, yeah, Samantha Sperry, Graves County. That's the one that you were talking about, Sunshine, that the family didn't want or told you to back off. I wonder why. I mean, I'm not saying by no means that the family had anything, but it would just be odd that, you know. But once again, I need to listen to my own advice and not make come to any conclusions or anything about why they wouldn't want you to or to ask you to back off from the case. No, thank you, Arctic. Thank you so much. I take that as high praise too, coming for somebody like you who does such an awesome job. Thank you so much. I said I just get up here, just a crazy woman sitting here, usually on camera, not tonight, but you know, with my face in the camera, just doing the babbling, doing the best I can to get these stories out there. All right, I am caught up in comments, so let's get back to where I was. Okay, so this is trying to get back to my slides on my computer so I can I cannot read. Blake Deven. I know I looked into this, but both Chris Gideon and Arctic were made me aware of this very, very bizarre. And I do have a video clip for this instead of reading that will explain it because I need to blow my nose and take care of some business. So I'm gonna hold on. Hold on. I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to let this video play, and I'm going to I have to back out on my phone here. Hold on. One second. I'll try not to throw us all into a dumpster fire by pushing buttons. I'm going to mute my mic because I really need to blow my nose and take a break for a second while all this video plays. But I will be back.
Fayetteville police say that this little boy here on your screen has been missing for several years. However, family members only recently reported it.
This is a generated image of what Blake Deven could look like today. It's a bizarre missing child case that has raised a lot of questions. WRO's Carly Haynes is live outside the Fayetteville Police Department. Carly, what do we know about this child, this could be adult now, and the investigation?
Well, Fayetteville police worked with the FBI to search 3 different locations where Blake Deven could be. No luck. Now there's an ongoing investigation to find him. This is Blake Deven in 2012. This is what he could look like today at age 17.
It is an estimation really designed to spark recognition of that missing child.
That's important because Deven has been missing for a while now, but Fayetteville police only just found out. On Wednesday, police interviewed Deven's family members for a separate investigation when family mentioned they hadn't seen Deven in several years. Police immediately launched an investigation, but private investigator Joshua Freeman said there could be new obstacles for law enforcement given the timeline.
The more time that passes, you worry about evidence going stale, evidence going missing. You have to worry about witnesses that might not recall certain events that surrounded that time frame.
Freeman was struck by the circumstances of this case.
Very disheartening. And, when you hear that a missing child is endangered, or missing that's, a cause of concern.
Police provided this photo of Deven from 2012. They didn't confirm how long he's been missing, though we found what appears to be a more recent photo of Deven on a missing children database. It says he was last seen in 2022.
Just pray for the kid to be returned safely and that he's located.
And the department's homicide unit is handling this investigation. They handle missing children's cases. Fayetteville police said they plan to give out more information in the coming days. Gerald.
Thank you, Carly.
Okay, I'm back. As long as you guys can hear me. Oh, nope. There we go. All right, let me put. There we go. Yes, and Arctic, I did see that you did one of your videos on him. I did see that, sir. Yes, sir. But yeah, I think it was last night. Chris Gideon, I don't even know if Chris is still here. He was here earlier. He had sent me a link to an article about this case, and then I saw your video, Arctic, that you did. Is this not? This one has me. But I don't know if there's any more information than that. I haven't deep dived into it yet. Guys, let me know if you can hear me. I should be. Oh, dadgummit. Hold on. Okay. Dadgummit. One sec. Technical difficulties. Okay, there we go. This one is just bizarre. And like I said in the video, my questions are, and exactly right here, what Miss Barb just said. Why hasn't other family members not asked about him? That is the first thing, Miss Barb, that I said when I read the articles and then came across that video clip that I just showed. Who were the family members? Because I said the police were doing an investigation on a different matter, whatever that matter was, is irrelevant. And then if somehow it got brought up, I don't know if his name got brought up, but what family members said that they haven't seen him? Were they immediate family members? Were they distant family? I could not. I found probably 20 articles about this, but they all said the exact same thing, word for word. So, it's like, when exactly did he go missing? The picture was from 2012, but then I think Nick Meck said or it might not have been Nick Meck. It might have been another one that said 2022 was the last time he was seen. So he would have been, if they say he's 15 or 17 now, he would have been, 14 or 15. Arctic says, that's all I found. My understanding is that they only found out he was missing through investigating an unrelated case. Exactly. That's just, yeah. And Miss Barbara, that face, that emoji says it all. Yeah. This is just bizarre. I mean, I can't even begin. Usually, there's enough information where you can kind of make some guesses or speculations, or at least get a start at a theory. But this one is just bizarre, and very concerning, obviously. I mean, why? I mean, family members didn't know or said that they hadn't seen him in years. Who were these family members? Were they close? Were they immediate? Were they just, aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, distant relatives? It's just, hopefully, they said they were, and they said in the article or the clip that they searched 3 different places. Unless I misunderstood, they searched 3 different places concerning him, but didn't find anything. Didn't find him or any sign of him or whatever the case may be. But yeah, this is just unreal. So So hopefully some kind of informational, they can find something. Because this is one of the weirdest, most disturbing, perplexing ones that I've heard of in a while. Just that none of his family ever reported him missing, apparently. So, yeah. Yeah, going back up to a different case, Arctic said some families just don't want YouTubers anywhere near their loved ones' cases. I wonder why. Yeah, most definitely. All right. So yeah, so we'll definitely and yes, Arctic did do one of his wonderful videos on, I can't remember if I shared it on my community page yet, but I will most definitely. And I will share it in my Facebook group. Or Arctic, I believe you're in my Facebook group. You can share it in there. But yeah, we'll have to keep our eye on this one and see, hopefully something will develop. All right, so let me go back to my once again. So I don't even know if I can read it. So on the left we have Aiden Clune, and I want to include this because anybody who watches, if anybody here that watches Chris at the Mob Crew, Chris is going to be going out and helping with this search for Aiden. Chris has gone out before to help search for Aiden. So I just wanted to include this. Volunteers are needed. Grid search for Aiden Clune. April 13th and 14th of this year near Curry, Nevada, hosted by the Clune family. Meetup play location, number 1, Shell R Place in Eli at 6:30 a.m. Flying J truck stop in Wells, Nevada, 6:30 a.m. Leaving range at 5 p.m. to return to staging area. It says we're asking for people's generous time and effort to search for my son, Aiden Clune, who went missing April 27th, 2022, and was tracked into the Cherry Creek mountain range. This is a great opportunity and experience for those interested in SAR. I don't know what SAR is. It says you will need to be able to hike 5 miles in rough terrain or be able to drive for pickup, drop off around the range. This is a grid search. Everyone stays together in sight of one another. 4x4s, side-by-sides, ATVs, dirt bikes, drones, and I believe Chris has a drone that he's going to take out there. And horseback riders are welcomed and in need. Sandwiches, snacks, and water will be provided. We will have first aid, spot devices, two-way radios, using X-Hunt. Gas vouchers and discounts may be available in order to plan for adequate supplies and transportation. We would appreciate all volunteers to contact the Clune family in advance. For more information and to sign up, call or email, find Aiden Clune at gmail.com, or you can call 408-647-7046. Aiden was 19 when he disappeared. Brown hair and eyes, 5'8", 125 pounds. Last seen April 27th, 2022. I'm trying to make this bigger so I can see. Sonoma County. And it's got the NCIC and NamUs case numbers or ID numbers. So if anybody is in the Nevada area and can contribute in any way to the search, please do so. Or just, if you can't, share once again. And we have Sebastian Rogers, a sweet little baby that needs to be found. And this is the poster I got from Dutch's. I found her Facebook page or profile to use this poster specifically. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is a 15-year-old autistic Caucasian male who was reported missing February 26, 2024, from the Stafford Court area of Hendersonville, Sumner County, Tennessee. Sebastian is 5 foot 5 inches tall, 113 pounds at his last checkup, sandy brown short hair, brown eyes, and may be wearing glasses. Sebastian was last seen on February 25th, 2024 at 9 p.m. when his mom saw him go to bed. He was wearing a long sleeve black shirt with a picture on the front, black track pants with a white stripe down the side, and no shoes. If you have any information, credible information, legitimate information about Sebastian, please call 615-451-3838 or 1-800-TBI-FIND. So I wanted to absolutely include Sebastian. Once again, we've been talking all night about he is the most important part of this case. He and all of his family members who are missing him. And we need to find little Sebastian. This is one that I have been started following when I came across before it started getting the national attention. I was one of many who was following this and sharing this before it blew up into the unfortunately, I'm afraid, circus that it has already become. But anyway, little Sebastian needs to be found. So please share his information. Don't get caught up in the drama and the BS going around. Right, I'll quit harping on it. Okay. Let's see what we got next. I think the last one I had, let me go check comments right quick. Erica says you did, just saw it. I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, Arthur says poor Aiden's case was completely overshadowed by Dylan Rounds. Yeah, that's another. The only, I admit I haven't had time. I haven't researched either Dylan's case or Aiden's myself, deep dive. I know of Aiden's case, and I think probably Dylan Rounds too, just from Chris at the mob crew from his coverage, because he covers, has shared Dylan's case too. Oh, duh, I should have known that. SAR Search and Rescue. Thank you, Arctic. And see, I hadn't even taken my NyQuil yet, so I can't even blame it on my NyQuil for having a brain fart there, but thank you. Yes, Miss Barbara says, bless Chris's heart, stay safe, prayers he's found. Yes. Yep, Chris at the Mall Crew is done. He covers a lot. Now he does cover some of the bigger stories too, but he also he always shares a missing one or two missings before he starts talking about whatever case he's going to be covering. And he does go out during the good weather, boots on the ground. He has a drone. He goes out and helps search for the missing. I think he's went out with Mr. Steve a couple of times. I think he was Chris went out with Mr. Steve and Carolyn and whoever else went out when they were working on Amber Prum out in Texas. But yeah, I know that Chris has said that he's going out. He will be out at that. Let me go back to it right quick. That oh, I'm already on it. Okay. That he is going out on that search the 13th and 14th of April to with his drone to help look for Aiden. Wait, I'm not laughing at Miss Barbara. Miss Barbara says, wow, I've seen a lot of these people have been sharing and we'll share this also. Thank you, Miss Barbara. Thank you, ma'am. And Arctic said, and Chris is easy on the eyes, just saying. But Chris is a nice looking fella. Of course, he's probably young enough to be my son, so I'm not, But yeah, Chris is a good guy. Chris is a good guy. Oh, goodness, Arctic, you crack me up. Okay, let's see. I think the last one I have is Caleb, which, like I said, this one, I just come across this one right before I got my zombie apocalypse bite or whatever it is that caused me to be sick. But uh-oh. Now Miss Barbara says he's a little cutie. You talking about Chris too? You're gonna make Chris blush. I know Carolyn from Inner Secrets is always trying to make him blush. Yep. Okay. You guys, it's like we got a dating. I got a dating channel going on here. Oh goodness. Okay. So back to serious for a second here. Let me find the article. Yeah, so this case, before I got sidetracked by you guys, Caleb's case, I'd found his poster in one of the numerous missing persons cold case groups I'm in, and shared it, and then I went into my stupor with my sickness, and when I came out, Chris, once again, talking about Chris at Mob Crew, he did a video or a live stream with these new details, and I was just like, what the crap is going on with this? So this article is from 3news.com or KIIITV.com, 3 News. Hold on, let me screen share it. Let me see if it'll let me screen share it. Nope. Let me swat the ads. So we'll take this down. I'll do that. Share screen. That. Okay, we'll see if it shares. May take it a second. My swamp signal. There it is. Sorry, I had to get a drink of water. So this article is from I don't know. We'll get down to it. Corpus Christi PD releases detailed timeline of Caleb Harris' disappearance. Corpus Christi police gave a highly detailed breakdown of the Caleb Harris disappearance on Thursday, nearly 3.5 weeks after the 21-year-old had vanished. I would just play the video, but my swamp signal, I don't think, would definitely not play a video. Because the only way I can show videos on here is I screen record them on my phone, and then I edit it, cut it down, trim it down, and then I email it to myself on my laptop, and then that's how I do it. Anyway, so this is from the 28th, which is a couple of days ago, yesterday, day before, Friday. We've been from Friday. So Corpus Christi police gave a highly detailed breakdown of the Caleb Harris disappearance on Thursday, nearly 3.5 weeks after the 21-year-old Texas A&M University Corpus Christi student vanished. Corpus Christi Assistant Police Chief Todd Green, who's overseeing search efforts, spoke with 3 News reporter Bill Churchwell Thursday. He says they have interviewed Harris's roommates, friends, and family. They have poured over hours of surveillance camera footage. He says the investigation now moves from the very visible search to detectives' work behind the scenes. I want the community to know we are still very actively involved in the investigation, Green said. It may not be as visible as it was the first week, where you see officers out combing through fields and riding motorcycles and bikes and whatnot. Most of the investigation now is going on behind the scenes. It has to do with looking into digital data, forensic computer examination, and things like that. And then we have a timeline. So March 3rd, in the evening hours, Caleb played video games at his off-campus apartment at the Cottages on Ennis Jocelyn Road near South Padre Island Drive. Sorry, I'm trying to swat ads. With his 2 roommates and a mutual friend. They played for more than an hour with another former classmate who currently lives in Colorado. March 4th, around approximately 1 a.m., a Ring doorbell camera at a nearby apartment shows Harris, his friend, and one of his roommates in the apartment complex parking lot playing with a puppy that belongs to the girlfriend of one of Caleb's roommates. According to Corpus Christi police, quote, nothing appeared out of the ordinary. Caleb and the other 2 young men then returned to the apartment. Hold on. Let's watch some more ads. There we go. And that is, oh, I don't know. Let me see. I don't know if it'll play or not. It probably won't.
Thomas J.
No, it's not going to play. With my swamp signal. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
Results.
No. I'm not even going to try. Now you know why I screen record. Okay, I'll just keep reading. 2:20 a.m., the second of Harris's 2 roommates told Caleb that he was heading to bed. Caleb told the roommates he was going to order snacks via Uber Eats for a school lunch on Monday. 2:44 a.m., Caleb sent a Snapchat video to his younger sister. The video showed Harris walking the puppy through what appears to be the apartment complex parking lot. Oh, there's a picture of the puppy. Cute little puppers. 3 a.m., Caleb sent a Snapchat photo to a high school friend who lives in San Antonio. That photo showed, and this is the photo. That photo just gives me the creeps. With Chris, mob crew, showed it. The photo showed a small bridge over a drainage ditch on the 1900 block of Ennis Jocelyn within a few hundred feet of the entrance to his apartment, and apparently that was the last any communication, pictures, Snapchats, anything that was taken on his phone. At 3:12 a.m., Caleb's cell phone last shared its location data within the nearest cell phone tower. 3:20, the Uber Eats driver delivered his order to his apartment. The order was left outside the front door as he had requested. It says on March 4th, hours later at 11 a.m., one of Caleb's roommates found the Uber Eats order outside the front door. Saw Harris's pickup truck parked in front of the apartment. Caleb's wallet and keys were in the apartment, but his cell phone was missing. The roommates called police to report Caleb missing. 3 News spoke to Caleb's father, Randy, by phone. He says he is 100% confident in Corpus Christi PD and what the department is doing to find his son. He said he's worried, though, about allegations and speculation and misinformation spreading on social media. Imagine that. And Assistant Chief Green addressed some of that. Unfortunately, we cannot tell the public everything we know in this investigation. It does not work that way, Green said. We are not able to be completely transparent and share everything we know, but we can very confidently say we have ruled out the roommates as having anything to do with his disappearance. His friends that he was communicating with that night over social media, we have ruled them out. We ruled out the Uber driver that made the delivery, because that was the first thing. Once again, if I can get on my soapbox for 2 seconds, very first thing I was in, probably, I don't know if it's Chris's chat or some other. That's what the chat room is full of. What about the friends? Why did they they all looked up at the Ring doorbell at the same time in the video? And did somebody check out the Uber driver, which was a female, by the way. So that basically rules her out. Okay, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. It says we have investigated very thoroughly all of those individuals. We wouldn't be doing our job if we did not look at that possibility. Obviously, they start from family, friends, and work their way out. We wouldn't be doing our job if we didn't look at that possibility that they could have been involved, but we've done that, and we put a lot of work into initially, and we've crossed them off the list. So our next step is to continue forward and see what exactly happened to Caleb. A $25,000 reward remains available through Sunday, March 31st, which is tomorrow. Next Thursday, April 4th, will mark 1 month since Caleb's disappearance. So that is the latest that I found, unless something's developed within the last few hours. Get that back. Come on. There it is. The latest that I've found about Caleb. So like I said, unless anything has happened within the last few hours. But yeah, prayers to Caleb, and I mean, just another one, people just don't disappear. There's always a reason, whether it be foul play, accident, or leaving of their own accord. But just another one that just seemingly, snap of a finger, blink of an eye, disappeared. And like I said, and I don't know what chat I was in, or I don't think it was Chris's, because Chris has got a pretty good community. I may have snuck into another creator's chat that I usually don't watch, and that was what they were talking about, the friends and the Uber driver and this person. Already out of control. Oh, it just drives me nuts, guys. Just drives me insane. I know it does you guys. Any of us with a sane, rational minds, it just drives, drives us crazy. I think that is the last one I had. All right, let me get caught up in comments. Where's I at? Okay, we talk about Chris being easy on the eyes. Arctic said is happily married for 12 years. Now Arctic's talking about my I'm already better at all the fancy editing stuff than I am. I'm a tech potato. Hey, it's not fancy editing. Honestly, and this is my, this isn't even my setup that I use when I'm on camera. I have a green screen taped, or not taped, pinned up on my wall with my chair. Excuse me, my cat's chair, which he's in right now, that I usually steal when I do on camera. I have my phone, I have a Wi-Fi hotspot, and I have a laptop. And I have one video editor that I use on my phone because it was cheap. And that's all I have. And I learned how to put my slideshows together using Google Slides. So if you want to call that fancy, thank you. I appreciate it very much. But yeah, no, it did. I learn by trial and error. Usually more error than anything. But once I get the hang of it, it may take a lot of fussing and cussing and trying before I get it. But once I get the hang of it, I can, But anyway, hey, don't say that's all. Arctic says all I know how to do is put a flyer on my screen and talk. That's all you have to do, buddy. That's all you have to do. That's all any of us have to do. put the pictures up there, put the information up there, and talk about it. That's what we do. That is our purpose in life, our job in life, or at least part of my life. Once I go back to work, which has to be soon because I'm gonna start running out of money. But anyway, yeah, that's all we got to do. That you do, Arctic. I'm telling you, you do wonderful work. You are much more well spoken than I am. You could be like a radio announcer. You know, I'm sitting up here babbling and blah blah blah. You know, losing my place. But like I said, as long as I can get that information out there in a reasonably coherent way, then I think I'm doing okay. But you keep doing what you're doing, Arctic. You're doing fantastic. Yep, and absolutely. Prayers for Caleb, most definitely. Yep. Arctic says law enforcement isn't obligated to tell us jack. The Delphi case taught us that. For years, we thought Ellie was twiddling their thumbs, myself included, but they were see, I'm stumbling over my words. Strategically building a case behind the scenes. Yeah, see, that's what people are. Not everybody. I'll probably get the numbnuts. I'll probably get for saying that. I don't care anymore. I'm not monetized, so I can say whatever I want to, I guess. You know, all the numbskulls out there who think that just because they don't see law enforcement out covering, you know, they do a lot of stuff they do is behind the scenes, and people don't understand, or they either don't understand it or they don't want to accept it because they want to know. And it's just, you know, I can understand to an extent. It's human curiosity. Yes, I would love to know everything that's going on in all these cases, but we like Arctic said, they're not obligated to tell us anything. We're just civilians out here. There are reasons, you know, I said earlier, there are reasons why police do not put information out. And it is for the good of the case, the integrity of the case. A lot of times they keep information that if they have a suspect, or think they have a suspect in the future, they're not going to let release any information that only the offender would know. You know, and people just don't, you know, a lot of people just don't understand that. So, but anyway, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Yes, Miss Barb says, prayers for him and his family just vanished. Yeah, it's just, you know, Sunshine says, Mind of Monsters, I don't know if she's still here. I think on her intro, or listen, once again, getting my head confused like I usually do, but says people just don't vanish, which is true, but it's sometimes it just seems like they do. They're there 1 minute and then they're gone without any trace, and unfortunately, a lot of times they're never found, and you're just like, what the hell happened, you know? But hopefully they can find something. They said they were working behind the scenes with the digital forensics and all that stuff, so hopefully they can maybe get something else from his phone or ping his phone or whatever. Yep, I'm about ready to get out of here. Good night, Miss Barbara. Thank you so much for being here, love. I love you, Miss Barbara. I love you, Miss Marion. Thank you all. Thank you for being here. Miss Marion says thank you all for being here and stay safe. You too, Miss Marion and Miss Barbara. Good night, all. I'm gonna do a little bit of my shameless plugging just for anybody watching replay or anybody still here. If you found this content informative, interesting, please, even if you didn't find it interesting, hopefully you did, share to get subscribed if you haven't subscribed, like, share, comment. All those things help push this information out to as many people as possible. That is the most important thing, is to get this information out about these missing and these cold cases out to as many people as possible. Once again, you can contact me if you have any questions, comments, or a case that you want me to share. You can contact me, southerngaltruecrime@hotmail.com. Once again, you can find me on Facebook. I have a group and a page, also obviously called Southern Gals True Crime. If you would like to help support the channel and awareness for the missing, all the links you can find in the description box of this live stream video and in the homepage, the About page of my channel. Oh, and I made a nifty little, I'll save it for next time. I made a nifty little ticker I was going to run down. I forgot to turn it on. But anyway. So, let me check comments one more time. Arctic says, I still scrutinize law enforcement, but I've gotten a little more even keeled now that I've started working with the Aware Foundation and see a lot of what happens behind the scenes. Exactly. Yep. And thank you, Arctic, for everyone. Truly, sincerely, I mean it. Thank you for everything that you do. You do a wonderful, amazing job. Mind of Monsters Sunshine does an amazing job. I got to check out News channel. Anybody I'm forgetting, please check out my homepage. Scroll down to the Visit Our Friends Below section. All the links there to the channels that I trust. The good ones, please do check them out. I have included, I put Arctic Fox, you're in there. Most definitely my friend. You're on my friend section now. Yep, Arctic says night. Miss Mary and Miss Barbara and all, thanks for joining. Please share this out. Yes, thank you. Thank you for everybody who was here. I can't possibly go back up through, but Arctic Fox, Miss Marion, Miss Barbara, Miss Kimberly was here. Miss Kimberly Lotz, Durante, Martin's grandmother, Manda Monster, Sunshine, thank you so much. Mexi was here earlier. I want to forget. Thank you, everybody that was here, participating in chat, lurking. But I'm trying to multitask here. I'm not doing a very good job of it. Thank you, everybody that's watching replay. I love all you guys, and I will hopefully be back Sunday with either my Missing Person Monday video or live stream, but I will let you know. Thanks for putting up with my scratchy voice, nasally voice. I enjoyed reconnecting with, getting caught up with you guys tonight. I love you guys, and I will see you Monday.